so beautiful. Push my limits and ski the best I can.
All of a sudden, world titles are at play in people's minds. So the pressure just increases at these events.
Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Freeride World Tour by Peak Performance. We are in glorious Haines, Alaska. My name is Derek Foose. I'm here to bring you all the action. You may notice that I'm sitting here solo today. Big shout out to Hadley Hammer, who caught the flu and was unable to make the trip up to Alaska, but we are saying hi to you back home, and we're looking forward to a great show. I'm going to do my best to hold it down here, and I'm going to have a number of guests throughout the day to help me bring you up to date with all the action. We are in Haines. We are ready to go, and we've got a behind-the-scenes look at what it means to return to this iconic freeride mecca.
Going back to Alaska is a freeride series ultimate destination. Riders are excited, and when it clicks, the competitions are incredible. Riding in Alaska for any pro freerider is a must-do. It's different types of ridings, especially in the spines, that you want to experience once in your lifetime. A stop in Alaska should be mandatory on the FWT calendar. Now, we have the resources to organize it, and hopefully this will be a classic in the future years. The AK stop being one of the two finals after the cut is definitely a reward for the riders who made the cut. They now can ride with less pressure. They are qualified for next year's World Tour, and they can express themselves and concentrate on their line without the ranking pressure, and that's pretty nice, I imagine, for them.
Well, great to hear from Nico there, talking about the removal of the pressure of the cut, but of course the addition of the pressure of riding in the Chilkat Mountains. These peaks absolutely enormous and shaping up to be a banger of a competition. The sun is out. The riders, I mean, the absolute theme of this event is remote. The riders have been traveling, some from Europe, some from points a little closer, but they have been moving to get out here. There are planes, ferries, long drives. The ferry from Skagway into Juneau and up the Juneau Pass is unbelievably beautiful, and the riders just taking it in on the way. Never not windy on that ferry, but of course the riders are so excited to get here, and the journey is a huge part of it. The remoteness of this mountain range and the excitement just building and building and building. With that excitement, of course, comes a little bit of fear. And all of those athletes.
Woo! Alaska, baby.
All of those athletes just journeying up and down. Coming from Europe is a big push, and the European riders getting a little bit of a taste of what the North American and Region 2 riders deal with when they're heading over to Europe. So remote is the name of the game here. We are way out in the wilderness. We are in the heart of the Chilkat Mountains. Haines itself is remote. As we see the ski women, they're getting ready to kick things off. They're going to be our third category of the day. We have gotten here throughout a challenging series of events, but the cut was looming when we were back in Fieberbrunn. It was heavy over the riders. So the format, 4 events. Unfortunately, we were only able to pull off 2 of them this year. 51 riders. We take that and cut it down 40% going back to the challengers to FWT finals. The YETI Alaska Haines Pro and the YETI Extreme Verbier. Only 29 riders making the journey here to Haines, and it'll be the same for the YETI Extreme Verbier. So those riders are guaranteed a spot on next year's Freeride World Tour by Peak Performance, and are the only ones getting to take place here on the dream stop at the YETI Haines Pro. So all to play for here. Every category effectively has a chance to alter the state of the overall rankings and win the overall tour title, as we got a chance to see what is going on in Ben Richards' head after 2 wins on the tour. So Ben Richards, if he wins today at the YETI Haines Pro, he will be Freeride World Tour champion. Everyone else in every other category, it is wide open because, of course, there are more points available at the 2 finals events, the YETI Haines Pro and the YETI Extreme Verbier, than there are in the earlier season events. So there's so much going on here. And if Ben doesn't win here, then ski men as well will come down to the Extreme in Verbier, the final, the grand finale. And it's been such an interesting parallel between what we're going to see in Verbier at the Bec de Ross and this enormous venue in Haines, Alaska. So we're going to dig into it. It's called the venue. We have start one high and start one low to give the athletes an opportunity to get on any piece of terrain they want, and start 2. It is 2,100 meters of elevation, which gives you a little bit of a sense of how high we are since we're staying in Haines down at sea level. 750 meters of vertical descent. This is the longest face on the Freeride World Tour by far. So athletes' conditioning is going to come into play, as well as the mental stamina to stay in the game, to stay focused, to stay on point all the way to the bottom, because some of the biggest moves in this face are at the bottom. It's very steep at the top, it benches out, and then it kicks over again with a series of fluted spines that roll down into the lower apron and then onto the Little Jarvis Glacier. So the line selection options available on this face are almost infinite. It's 1.5 kilometers from start 1 high over to start 2. The distances here, the vastness of this Alaskan range is incredible. We are looking at a cool and crisp minus 16 Celsius. That's 3 degrees Fahrenheit. It's already warmed up 10 degrees since we got up here. We have 5 out of 5 snowflakes. Pristine conditions. Only 3 kilometers an hour wind coming right out of the north, so not enough to really bother anyone. 25 centimeters of dense cold powder. There are some wind-affected pockets, and there are some slough-affected pockets in the low-lying areas, in the concavities. So we're going to see the riders really putting in the work to figure out where the snow is soft, where it's hard, and anywhere where the slough has been running, where the snow has flushed, it is going to feel a little firmer underfoot. So the riders have to figure that out, and their scoping happens from 2 kilometers away on the ridge. We see Winter McBride there, one of the Region 2 rookies, getting herself ready. We're going to check in on our judges, the people who are making the decisions here. All right, well, Jacqueline Pollard coming out of Alta, Utah. Not an easy woman to impress. She is a Freeride World Tour event winner. She was Rookie of the Year. Bertie Denervaux, the inventor of the Freeride World Tour judging system and co-commissioner of the Freeride World Tour with this man, Lolo Bess, the other commissioner. He has been judging the Freeride World Tour since its inception. And Laurent Gauthier, coming out of Whistler, Canada, a podium finisher at the Extreme Verbier in his time, been with the tour since 2018. You can see the judges all set up and ready to go. Jay Paul, Laurent Gauthier, Bertie Denervaux, Lolo Bess, and our video judge today, Cody Taylor, from right here in Alaska. This man knows this mountain range, knows this face, and we've got Emma Kaiser there who's going to be inputting the scores, the absolute beating heart of the Freeride World Tour. All of these people know exactly what they're looking for. They are tucked in and cozy. There is what is to play for, the winner's trophy at the YETI Haines Pro. We are ready to kick things off. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the YETI Haines Pro, where our first category will be snowboard men. We have champions and we have people that want to become champions. The men who made the cut are all lined up at the top of this face. All of them, it's their first time down this face. I think only Victor de la Rue has actually ridden in Alaska at all before. So it is an extreme welcome to a whole new world here in AK as we see the snowboard men looking down the face. They are getting ready to go. For all but Victor, it's their first time ever setting foot in Alaska and 100% their first time riding anything of this magnitude. The Venue is the name of the venue, and this thing has delivered. As we take a look at our overall Freeride World Tour by Peak Performance ranking so far, Victor de la Rue holding a slimmer lead than he has had in the past, but still in the lead over Liam Rivera, Enzo Nilo, and Sasha Balicco, the rookie, with Shayne Sandblom and young French rider Cesar Bouvier chasing their heels. All of these riders making the cut. There we see Holden Samuels, the first man below the cut by such a slim line. So Victor de la Rue back in familiar position in the leader's jersey, the golden bib for the Freeride World Tour by Peak Performance. He is very comfortable protecting a lead. And here is the order we're going to drop in. Cesar Bouvier, young French rider, probably the youngest rider still left on the Freeride World Tour, will be the first man to kick the day off. Sasha Balicco following, then the exciting American snowboard prodigy Shayne Sandblom, Liam Rivera, Enzo Nilo, and then our current World Tour leader, Victor de la Rue, will be the last man in the category to drop. Exciting times here as we are getting ready to see. We've got the Peak Performance Fun Bet fan favorites. 94% of you casting your vote to see Victor de la Rue on the podium. Liam Rivera getting 78, and Enzo Nilo with 68%. Peak Performance Fun Bet. It is Fantasy Freeride, your opportunity to get some skin in the game. And I am joined now in the booth by the 2016 YETI Haines Pro winner, Ryland Bell, and our forerunner. Ryland, welcome to the show. We're so stoked to have you here.
Stoked to be here. This is awesome.
All right. Well, while we've got you here, I want to pepper you with all kinds of questions. First of all,
bring it on.
You were standing in the start gate 20 minutes ago. You were the forerunner, and from my observation down here, watching you ride really raised the vibe of the riders. You know, there's been a lot of nerves coming into this. What was it like there on the face?
Well, my heart was pumping. I was, I was fired up top, and the face, in my opinion, is perfect. They're going to be so stoked to ride down this thing. It's like the snow's been sitting just long enough that it made it this perfect, semi-dense, fast, like cream cheese, just perfect, like AK blower. These guys are about to send it.
Yes, for sure. Well, as I said, the stoke level just went through the roof watching you ride, and it's good to see you back that up with your experience on the face. So you came out of start 2. Do you think there are advantages and disadvantages between the different starts? We've got start 2, start 1, and then start 1 high. What do you see as the main differences between those starts?
All right, straight up, start 1 high. Like, let's go, boys. This is going to be insane. That is AK Technar to the finest. I can't wait to see what some of these people are going to do over there. That thing is heavy.
Yeah, you can see it on your screen right now as the camera pans back. That is classic Alaskan riders approaching 60 degrees at the top, maxing out. The average steepness on this face is 45, and that's with a huge mellow bowl in the middle. So that gives you a sense of what the high sides of those numbers are. Looking now at start 1, we saw, back in the day when you were riding, a lot of riders taking that start 1 option and going pretty much dead fall line. Yeah. Advantages and disadvantages to that one?
The advantages of that is that because that fin carries throughout the line, you really can sort of like, you don't have that middle section without much in it. So it flows well, and just the steepness is this perfect pitch where there's a little roll at the top, but as soon as you come over that, the line reveals itself, and then you just see all these peppers and dongers and just little things to jump off of left and right. It's really stacked in there. And then, yeah, the other one is the steepest, though.
So you're one of only 3 snowboard men in history to win on this face. What's it going to take for the riders today to put down a run that the judges are going to like?
Right. I'm actually one of only 2 because Sammy Lebke won it twice.
Oh, he was. Sammy won twice. Yeah. So you're, even this club's even smaller.
Yeah, and we were proud of that because we're both Alaska boys. So we were holding it strong back then. It was cool. And I am just so fired up to see what these guys can do. Like I said, the takeoffs right now are sort of like this firm, perfect, like very predictable takeoff, and then the landings are stacked with good snow. So I just feel like it's leading up to where these guys are really going to be able to bring it to their full potential.
Unreal. Well, I cannot wait. We are under 30 seconds from the first rider dropping. Cesar Bouvier, the rider out of Val Thorens, France. He burst onto the scene this year as a rookie and the youngest rider on the tour left after the cut, 19 years old. I mean, the average age has just plummeted in the last few years. These riders coming up through juniors, they're honing their skills and they're putting it down. Cesar was, you know, he was a little rattled when he drew bib 1, especially the first category of the day, and you can kind of see it in his face there, Ryland.
Oh yeah, he's taking some deep breaths right now. He's getting in the zone.
All right, well, here we go. The YETI Haines Alaska Pro kicking off with snowboardman French rider Cesar Bouvier out of the gate and getting going. What is going through this man's mind right now?
I bet that all he hears is his heart pounding in his ears right now. Like, he is fired up. He made it to the big show. It's Alaska. Dreams are coming true right now. This guy is about to throw down, and I can't wait to see it.
All right, well, Cesar is making his way. You can see the cornice is absolutely enormous. The guides were very specific in saying where it would be okay for the riders to drop in. So Cesar is going to make his way down the ridge a little bit. They don't want anybody putting pressure on those cornices and seeing them drop on the face. So there's the wave, Ryland. He is ready to go.
Here we go. Oh, yeah, he's lining up a big one.
Cesar moving down over what we saw in earlier iterations of this event become a classic double. Getting a little bit rumbled there on the landing, but comes out riding, and you can see the slough is absolutely ripping, tumbling over. The snow is deep up there.
It's deep, yeah. Those landings are stacked. They got a big pocket of snow in them, and oh, here he goes, lining up a nice one. Oh, look at that light right now. This guy is having the run of his life.
Absolutely glorious condition here in Haines. Lofting a big back 3 there, getting on the toe side. Cesar Bouvier making his very first run ever in Alaska at only 20 years old. You know, we used to see riders, they needed to really like dial in their game before they came to Alaska. And Cesar, another big air down low as he is getting through this face, and still plenty of action to come.
Yeah, it's really cool to see the younger kids like coming in with this strong mind for it these days. It really has been a change from the more seasoned veterans. So to see these kids come in and bring this energy and be able to ride in the way they do, it's special. I mean, I feel privileged to be here and getting to witness this. I mean, look at this guy right now. This is ridiculous. He is getting it.
Bouncing off that double and onto the lower spine. You can see that absolute freight train of slough just running down beside him. Clean and calm and collected. Cesar Bouvier, top to bottom, 750 vertical meters. He's got his hands in the air right now. Absolute
It looked
elation.
like his mind was just blown. He was just like, boom.
So, Ryland, you live in this area. You're an Alaskan. The conditions right now, absolutely prime time.
Yeah, totally. This is you couldn't have asked for anything better. This is like planning this event and having it come through with these conditions. People are fired up. This is just great.
All right, so we're looking at the replay of Cesar Bouvier. He got rocked up high, had a couple of bobbles, one butt check, and a punch front, but then making up for it quite a bit down here as the venue rolls away again. And just when you think you've had time to catch your breath, you're straight into it all over again. And Cesar making short work of that. So So you can see the judges, you know, the video judges. We see the hover air line tracker. Extremely fall line approach there from Cesar Bouvier. And yeah, the judges are going to do what they're going to do with that. There were some definite control issues, a couple of little fluidity issues. You can see down there, there's no big crowd at the finish line. The finish on the Little Jarvis Glacier is in a hazardous avalanche area. So Freeride World Tour and Alaska Heli Skiing opting to keep a minimum amount of people down there.
Smart.
Yeah, and the riders will be flying back up to the ridge to watch their friends. So the score dropping now for Cesar, coming in at a 56.33, setting the bar high, well, setting the bar for the rest of the category. He's lining something up on his board there. All right, well, you can see body language. I mean, everybody wants to come and ride here, but they also want to do their absolute best. And at the end of the day, this is still a competition.
Yeah.
So they want to do well in the competition. 56-point run there for Cesar, but not bad. 20 years old, first year on tour.
Yeah, I mean, a 20-year-old coming to Alaska their first time, that guy just had an amazing run. Like, he is a talented rider, and he went for it, and he's got nothing to regret on that run. He just absolutely took it to the max.
Yeah, full send, which I mean, everybody's here for. You know, that's what we want to see. That's what you at home want to see. Everybody's here, and it's been a minute since we've had a comp. We've had a bit of a roller coaster ride over the last 3 or 4 weeks with conditions. Couldn't be more of a contrast from the spring slush skiing that we were doing in Europe now to the wilderness of Alaska as we're looking back up at start one there. The venue in absolute pristine condition, just glorious Alaskan conditions. Ryland, you're on the face out there doing your forerun. It was great hearing you over the radio. Just be like, it's on, boys, all green lights.
Yes, send it. The takeoffs are just waiting for you, shaped perfectly. It's on. Yeah, and I mean, think of that guy. He's 20 years old. You said it's just been slush. He's coming here. He hasn't even ridden powder. He gets to drop into this, and he did great. That was cool. That was really cool to see. It's showing, you know, what the level's going to be here today. These guys and girls are about to go off.
Yeah, and there's a deep hunger in the field right now to throw down. So Sasha Balicco, 28 years old, he's sitting in fourth. Another part of this powerhouse Team France. Out of the 6 riders that made the cut, 4 of them are French, and Sasha is part of that squad. They are rolling heavy right now. Sasha Balicco rolling right out of start one and immediately into the action as the ground, it's so convex here, Ryland. It's hard for the riders really to know where they're going. Scoping's got to be on point.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, look at that. Yes, that was sick. This guy is having a good one. He is having himself one here today, that's for sure. Look at that light. Look at that snow. Does it get any better?
So big 360. Sasha ticking all the boxes. A lot of the riders just were so excited just to do the ride, to get on this face. Never mind the fact that it's a competition. And Sasha Balicco definitely embodying that right now as he makes his way. You can see where some of those slough runnels have kind of landed, and he gets back into this absolute perfect powder down the spine line. We can see our Freeride World Tour photographer there. I think that's Dom Dare. He's going to come up with a whole pocket full of bangers. And now it rolls away again as Sasha gets into the meat and potatoes of this venue.
Oh, yeah, that's a nice little gnar nugget here for him. Flowing it nicely, too. Just look at that. I mean, the light today, these guys are having, these are film lines. And
it gets so steep, even though it's down near the bottom. Clicking, perfect connection. He's going to get out of the slough and back into the powder. Little tail press on the board, and Sasha is down clean with an absolutely masterful run down this huge Alaskan face. We pan back up, and he's still not done. They come onto that Little Jarvis Glacier, and it still feels like you have over a kilometer to go to get to the finish.
Yeah, I mean, the way he flowed through that, you're coming in throughout the line, you can only see the next section. You're not able to just have it laid out in front of you. So to come in and flow that well, no slowdown, stayed on his feet, took big airs. That 360 was epic. Like, this guy just had a great run. That was really fun to watch.
Yeah, not even a hint of a bobble in this run. We can see from the fluidity score there from the video judge, But fluidity is only relative to the terrain you're in.
Look at that
and
shot.
honestly,
yes.
to go any faster than that would be really challenging.
Yeah,
So,
straight up. I mean, you can't just go full pin over a blind roll. You got to slow it up there. I mean, that guy masterfully rode this face. That was great. It's really cool for me to be here and see this next generation really stepping up and taking it to just the next level. It's cool.
yeah, and a huge shout out to the riders. So it's
Yeah,
been
proud
a
of
rush
these guys.
because we only got, most people got here yesterday or the day before. We
Yeah.
had to move it up because we've got sun today. See the score dropping for Sasha, and it goes to
Solid.
78.67.
Solid.
That is
Yeah.
a solid score for the second man down. So the riders only got their first look at this face this morning.
I know.
We came up to the ridge. They got the binos out. They were looking at it. Visual inspection only from 2 kilometers away. So keep that in mind when you're watching, that they got eyes on it for the first time only this morning. It wasn't the typical Freeride World Tour, multiple days of face check,
Right.
looking and looking and looking. They got about 2 hours, an hour and a half. They watched you guys forerun, and that was it. Up to the top and go do it. So we roll on with the snowboard men. Shayne Sandblom riding out of Lake Tahoe, California, 22 years old, here in the YETI Haines Alaska Pro. This man, he started the season with an injury and then came back swinging in Val Thorens with a huge run, put himself on the podium and put himself above the cut. He has been buzzing, just vibrating since he got into Alaska. And
That's epic.
Yeah,
I love
I'm
it.
really looking forward to see what the American rider is going to do with this face. Starting.
Oh, he's lining something up here.
Woo!
Oh, yeah.
So Shayne over on the more riders right part, staying up high on this spine, getting a little checked up there. You can see the slough running in the low points, and he is making his way, being a little bit careful, but I think that's a sensible approach when it's all convex, meaning the ground just rolls away from you. You can't see where you're going up there.
Yeah, and you can see these sunny aspects. It's a little shallower, and the snow's more of like a wind buff on top. So it's not quite as favorable, but he made it through there nicely. And it looks like he's got another thing here he's looking at.
Lining something up right off the
Yeah.
nose there.
Oh,
Shayne.
yeah,
you can
man.
see there where he landed, not as deep as
Yeah.
where we saw Sasha landing on the other side of this face.
Yep. That's awesome, though. Love that this guy's bringing the energy and good vibes. I mean, that's a big part of this snowboard family and this freeride world is just like rooting for everybody, having a good time. I mean, right, in the end, it's just snowboarding.
Yeah, and it's
cool.
supposed to be fun, and they're
Yeah.
getting to snowboard in these absolutely spectacular conditions here in
sick
Haines, Alaska.
spot. Yes.
And Sasha, just clearing that old crown line. So you can see where an old avalanche is broke and the snow above it is soft, but that snow didn't look soft at all where he landed.
I think he just didn't luck out on that choice there. It looked, oh, nice. Oh, yeah, beautiful, beautiful. That was great. Yeah, just when those little pockets will pull out and you jump into that debris zone and it's not as deep and all that, but still a great run. I bet he's just beaming right now, buzzing. He just did his first Alaska run out of a helicopter in perfect POW. And I mean,
Yeah.
what more do you want out of your life, really, right?
Exactly, yeah. Every crooked decision that you've made to brought you here just paid off big time. Shayne going right off the nose of that one, finding the pocket. But yeah, just in that south-facing side, the snow not as deep. It's
Just
had a little
not-
bit more
yeah.
wind, a little bit more sun compaction.
Still, though, like, I really did like that line choice. It's unique. He saw what he wanted to do, and he did it well. You know, it's a shame the snow wasn't as indicative for him, but he still had a great run.
And
look
a
at that
really
360 right
hammer
there.
finish there.
Yeah,
Big
that was
backside three
beautiful.
over
Oh,
that
yeah.
wind feature.
Yeah,
Lofty.
good style.
All right,
What a
hover air
beautiful
line
day.
tracker there showing Shayne's route down. So riders, you know, at the top, how much of this can you see from the top as an athlete?
You can see the top like a couple 100 feet, and then it rolls off, and you can see some of the lower features for sure, but it doesn't all line up until you're dropping in and you're riding down the face. If you're going from start 2, you only see about 50 feet of the face, and then it goes full rollover. It's probably at least 50 degrees up there.
So we've got the score there, 46.67 for Shayne Sandblom. He goes into 3rd place so far in the snowboard men's category. 6 riders in the category, 3 down. We are halfway through. And of course, the world title, a huge amount of points in the finals, both here at the YETI Pro, YETI Haines Alaska Pro, and in Verbier. So here's a man who's going to be chasing a pocket full of those points. Liam Rivera, 26 years old, riding out of Verbier. He says 4 seasons on the tour. It feels like he's been here forever. And in 2nd place behind the winningest rider in snowboard men's history, 4-time overall world champion Victor de la Rue. So Liam is going to be looking to make a big splash here. He was pretty excited during face check. He had a couple of different options that he was, and I was really impressed listening to him speak about his line, because he was really considering slough management, where the slough was going to go, where he was going to put himself to stay out of the freight train.
Smart decision making.
Yeah, which is, it's part of it. If you're new to the sport and it feels to you like this is just reckless, it absolutely isn't. There's so much calculation that goes into what these riders are doing. Yes. So Liam coming down, he's got a nice spine feature there, lofting into the couloir, getting on that heel side, controlling his speed right away. That was perfect edge control for Liam.
Beautiful. Yeah, I got to say with Liam, as just a fan of watching Freeride, this guy has really impressed me. He is solid. It's a pleasure to watch. I mean, look at that style, taking it to bolts every time. This guy is awesome.
Yeah, so much commitment up at the top of the face, 360 there as well. So Liam really ramping up that air and style category, as well as just keeping it moving. He's flowing down this mountain like water, just trickling through and lacing these features, popping right off the blade of that spine. So clean riding on the upper section of this face for Liam.
Oh, look at that turn. Look at that snow right there. This is just epic. Yeah, he's having himself one here today, that's for sure. That was a really solid top, and he's keeping the flow going. Here we go into the bottom section. We're going to see some more features here for sure.
Yeah, Liam off the nose of that one, using the tail of his board to compress into the landing, getting that speed under control, and another 360 going front side this time. So spinning both ways there for Liam Rivera.
Solid
and he is down and clean. So the judges told us before the event that once the riders are off that apron and down onto the Little Jarvis Glacier, they're stopping judging. They're going to get the scores in. They've got this time. They're not going to worry about this long flat descent. They'll leave that just for the riders.
We don't want another Drew Tab key going on. We're just going to stop it there. Liam just had himself a run, guys. This is impressive. That was beautiful riding. You can tell, yeah, he took all the variables into it and he laid it down.
Yeah, never put a foot out of place. Big slash turn to control his speed right off the summit of that spine. So Liam Rivera just putting all the pieces together. And each one of those features, that was the only one where there was even a hint, and it was just a little tail press. I think, you know, the judges, of course, are watching the early pop.
Look at that. Yeah, totally. Early pop into that 3. Got the grab. Perfect style. That's one thing with Liam. He's got that front side 3 on lock, and when you watch him throw it, it is beautiful.
Yeah, veteran riding there from the young Swiss athlete. He is going to be absolutely over the moon with that run. As we said, only Victor in this whole category has ever even ridden in Alaska before, let alone competed on this face. So for these riders to step into this arena and just throw down like that, as well, he's coming. He's going to get locked in behind the in front of the backdrop there, and the score going way up. 89-point run for Liam Rivera. That was huge.
Nice work, Liam.
Woo.
Nice work. Sort of makes me proud even watching it. Like, look at what these guys are doing. This is absolutely incredible. I mean, yeah, it brings a tear to your eye. It's beautiful.
Well, Ryland, they're standing on your shoulders as you guys were the first ones pioneering competition runs on this face. So Liam Rivera, Sasha Balicco, And we see Cesar Bouvier, 1, 2, 3 right now, with a couple guys left to go, but they are the heaviest of heavy hitters.
Yeah, bringing the heat. Here we go.
Enzo Nilo, another rider out of Val Thorens. He's been a winner on the Freeride World Tour. Travel partner, riding buddy of Victor de la Rue. And I know they're missing the third musketeer, Camille Armand. If you're at home watching, big shout out to you. Those boys, part of the Freeride Fiasco squad, and Enzo Nilo getting a little help from the guides and medical team at the top. This is a team affair, and it takes a village.
Takes a village for sure. Yeah, and it's really, it has to do with the temperatures. It's a cold day, and it's just a little sticky up there at the top in the flats. But as you can tell, as soon as you drop in, you're on that pitch. It's not slow then.
Yeah.
Oh, beautiful half cab into the line. Nice work. Yeah, look at that. He is throwing some snow up, and he's got some speed going. This is a great start to a good run.
Yeah, Enzo bringing a bit more intensity than we've seen, just with pure speed, going back 3 there,
Beautiful.
landing just past Liam's bomb hole, catching, getting back in control.
Getting some speed going.
Yeah, Enzo is going with an aggressive approach here, keeping it fall line pinned off that double. All right, well, Enzo Nilo making his claim here in Haines. He wants to be standing on that podium as well. It's wide open in this category in the overall, so the way the finish stacks up here is going to have a huge effect on the overall title chase. Enzo Nilo right off the nose, getting bounced there off his hands, but coming up quick.
Yeah, he's carrying his speed. He's flowing through this line. It's fun to watch.
You can see there in the little box, we got other riders that are on the ridge. That's the ski men. They're going to be taking notes watching the snowboarders ride, because they're going to be going up shortly, getting in the helicopter and heading up to the top. So conditions, speed, slough, all of that stuff, they're just going to be just taking it in as Enzo now coming into the lower rollover section. A really nice air there, getting on his heel side edge to control speed before this final donger front 3, and
beautiful.
Lands it. Beautiful. Unreal.
Yeah, he's got to be happy with that. What a way to end a nice line up here, and just in the sun, flowing down. Yeah, I was just thinking, watching the skiers over there with their binocs out, the combined amount of adrenaline that's pumping through veins right here on this ridge is at a high level.
It is absolutely huge. All right, Ryland, take us through this replay.
Look at that nice half cab. Why not get a freebie off the top? Yeah, great move. Beautiful back 3 here. Goes bigger than the last track. Little washout, but he's coming out so hot, and he pulls it together, gets under control. I gotta say, watching this guy, he's riding with power. Look at that, yeah, throwing up the snow. The light today is incredible. These views they're getting with the drones and the cameras, it makes it surreal. I mean, you can't even believe it. This is really cool.
Yeah, it almost feels like we're watching a video game or something that's AI generated. It's like nearly too perfect.
Yeah. Oh, look at that 3, got the grab. Beautiful. He's got to be happy with that. I mean, whether or not he put the whole line together clean, even getting those moments, I mean, he's showing the world. He's on the world stage. He's showing them what he's got. That guy's a good snowboarder.
Yeah, clearly.
I can see, but I don't know. I didn't feel.
All right, well, the score comes up a 67-3-3. So he moves into 3rd. He's in that scary spot in the podium conversation when you only have Victor de la Rue still up. But the man is standing at the top of the venue. Liam Rivera, Sasha Balicco, Enzo Nilo. That is your 1, 2, 3 so far. But this man can. He has his way on this face. Victor de la Rue has spent a ton of time in Alaska, both here and in the Tordrillos and in and around Valdez. Like he's a veteran in Alaska.
We've actually been hellying together the last 2 days, so he's warmed up. And man, yesterday we were out there. It was a great day, but at a certain point, he's like, it's competition time, and I need to get back, and I'm taking this serious. So it was cool. I'm really excited to see what Victor can do, because he's one of the best in the world, just straight up.
Yeah, he sure is as he comes in and
Cab
goes
5.
Cab 5 off the cornice, landing perfect, perfect, absolute execution for Victor de la Rue. He is on course.
He is hauling right now, too. He is coming down fast and fluid and bringing the power.
Oh, yeah, one of the strongest riders just physically and the mental game that Victor has. Oh,
my God.
The alley-oop off-angle takeoff, so moving the wrong way, spinning again. So Victor de la Rue, he is just putting points in his pockets. The judges on the edges of their seats watching through their binoculars. Same with you at home and us here. Victor de la Rue has not let off the gas pedal from top to bottom, hasn't put a foot out of place yet.
Absolutely crushing it. Beautiful to watch. I mean, look at this. Does it get any better? Look at what he just did on this face. That was absolutely sick.
So you see there the terrain rolls away one more time, and Victor de la Rue is going to get another opportunity to put his stamp of authority on the bottom section of this face. So far, for sure, the most fluid and attacking style in this section. There's this little section where a little heel side slide is necessary to get onto this launch pad. Clean off. And Victor de la Rue, he may find another feature below. Now he's just going to rally the powder.
Oh, nice butter to end it. Yeah, Victor, nice work, buddy. That was incredible.
And both hands in the air. That is a worthy run to make a claim after. Look how small he is as the camera pans back. It just gives you a sense of the scale of this venue. And we are deep.
Nice,
15-minute helicopter ride from base, and that's a 45-minute drive from a small fishing village. I mean, we are out here on the edges. As we look back here, Ryland, at this replay.
Look at that cab 5 to bolts. Perfect. Comes in, just, yeah, he's sending, he's feeling good, he's on his game, you can tell.
And
yeah, look, maxed out on all of it. He just had the run. That was freaking cool.
So the judges are going to take their time. They're rewatching every little detail. You know, they want to get this right more than anybody. But looking at the video judge, that butter there at the bottom, I mean, that's like the joy just popping out of you when you throw a butter at the bottom of a run like that. You're just like, hell yeah, that was probably
100%.
one of the most fun competition runs you could ever have.
Yeah, no, to see that just now, that got my heart going. You know, that was so cool. What a badass.
All right, well, Victor de la Rue has done his part. He's making his way into the finish there. We got a hand waving. That's just a big hello to all you folks at home. As Victor de la Rue, he's got the good homie Enzo Nilo there beside him. Both of them waiting.
Ouais, c'est le daron qui parle, désolé. Je suis le seul daron des dad of the field. You guys should check Freeride Fiasco. Check it out.
Little plug for the YouTube series there.
Yeah, you can tell when you watch those. They're having a good time.
Yeah, the spirit of freeride snowboarding alive and well with the Freeride Fiasco crew.
Yeah.
Keeping it light, keeping it fun, and just kind of remembering what it's all about on the tour.
Yeah, totally. And I mean, you got all these young rippers, and then Victor coming in with the experience and still able to throw down like that. It's cool. I bet they're all just as stoked watching it, going, wow, like look what's possible out here.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it truly is like the torch just keeps getting passed, whether it's you and Sammy down to the next group, and now from Victor and Enzo on down to guys like Cesar, who's only 20 years old.
Yeah.
You know, the pathway is so strong. The pipeline is full of talented riders. And seeing these guys just share the knowledge, you know, there's no secrecy, there's no hiding.
Yeah, totally. I love it. It is a competition, but really, I think we all know it, is when you're there, the competition is just you versus the mountain. And not in a bad way, just like, how can I work together with this mountain to do and express what I need to do?
Oh, and it comes in at a 91.67.
Yes.
The last man on the mountain, and he takes over the hot seat. So Liam Rivera, he was thinking there for a bit that he was going to take the win here in Alaska, but the man has done it again. He chose
Look at that smile. He is happy right now.
he chose to drop last, and so he had all the info, put it all to good use, and found himself on top of the heap in snowboard men. Well, this is how it shook out. Victor Delarue with the win, Liam Rivera in second, and Sasha Balicco in his rookie season taking third and landing on the podium here at the YETI Alaska. Haines Pro, Enzo Nilo, Cesar Bouvier, and Shayne Sandblom rounding it out. All 6 of these guys are safe from the cut. So we're going to take a look back at Victor's run. Ryland, you know, top to bottom, this was just spotless.
Oh, it was just, he greased that thing. Are you kidding me? Came in, that cab 5 off the top, just to sort of cement, like, yeah, I'm here, I'm ready. And then coming into this backside 3 down here, and he rode with authority and he brought the heat, you know? It's like, what more could you do on this face? Look at this guy.
That 360 to me was one of the highlight moves. The ground sloped the wrong way. He's got the ground falling away. He's able to set just enough edge to get himself in the air and then do a 360.
Yeah.
Like the board control, the precision that this man has is just incredible.
Every hit to bolts. Every single one to bolts. Like stomping it. I mean, there was not a bobble. No. There wasn't one moment where you thought, oh, he's having a hard turn. No, he is sending it full bore all the way. Yeah, this is cool, man.
And Victor, he's such an interesting contrast in the sport of freeride because he is one of the most fun people to be around. His spirit is infectious, but when it comes to comp time, like you said yesterday, he locks in. He'll look from every angle. He'll put in the time. He'll study. He's a scientist on these line selections. And then he's also got the riding skills to back that up. Like that level of precision is just unmatched right now in snowboarding, in freeride snowboarding.
Right.
And it's incredible to see him just paint his vision on this unbelievable canvas. All right, well, this is what's happened with the overall Freeride World Tour by Peak Performance rankings. Victor Delarue cementing his spot up top. Liam Rivera, Sasha Balicco, exactly as the event went. Enzo Nilo, Shayne Sandblom jumping up a spot, and Cesar Bouvier, but it's all still so tight. But Victor and Liam putting a little bit of breathing room in between themselves and that chasing pack. So it's going to come down to Verbier. If Victor can continue this run of form, we are going to see another dominant title. So that's it for snowboard men here at the Haines Alaska YETI Pro. We are rolling on. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the YETI Haines Alaska Pro. We are live from the depths of the Chilkat Mountains. My name's Derek Foose. I'm joined by 2016 snowboard men's winner, Ryland Bell, bringing you all the action. We just saw the first category, absolute fireworks. Snowboard men throwing it down out there. What are your what's your take on how that went?
That was awesome to watch live. That was all time. I mean, these guys, they're getting good. They're bringing so much power in their free riding, and they're just taking it to bolts every time. It's yeah, it's next level. That's what it is. It's next level.
Next level indeed. Well, we've got, dug through the archives, and we've got your winning run from 2016 here on this exact same face. So, Ryland, talk us through this. You're standing in the start gate getting fired up for your home comp.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it was on. Yeah, I was so fired up. The snow was perfect. And, yeah, this is bringing back some memories. I remember sort of had an idea, but I was coming down this section, and I saw this wall here, and I knew I was going to hit that thing. And, yeah, I'll never forget that 360. That was a good one.
We saw Victor do the exact same thing. He's been studying.
Yeah, well, we were talking about it. He's like, what do you think? I said, that's a great hit.
Excellent. Well, we get a little insight into Victor's line selection, looking at this 2016 winning run, and then the lower section. Like you had it kind of similar to Victor, where top to bottom it was just absolutely flawless, and you were feeling it.
I was feeling it that day for sure. Like, it's just one of those times when everything comes together, and I don't know, doing it on the home turf too. It's really special. I mean, being out here and getting to even be a part of this is really special for me. So it's. Yeah, it's great. And
as you said, so we've only had 3 events here before. Sammy Lupke won 2 of them. You won 1. Victor joins the club now. It's a pretty exclusive group to be a part of. Winners, the Freeride World Tour makes a big deal about winners in Verbier. Winning the Extreme is a huge deal. I'd say equal status here winning in Alaska.
Jeez, well, thanks. I don't know. Verbier, it is extreme. It's the Verbier Extreme, and there's something just very special about that place too. So,
for sure, yeah. That's why these 2 events are the final. We heard Nicholas Hailwoods say this one it's imperative to have this stop on the Freeride World Tour. For a rider to have that full, complete skill set, this needs to be one of the proving grounds. And having Haines back on the tour, so we are rolling on with the Haines YETI Alaska Pro, and Snowboard Women is the next category to take the start gate. We have seen veterans and rookies with dominant performances this year, but Mia Jones has taken the bull by the horns. Young rookie coming out of Lake Tahoe, California, and taking on Nomia Key, who stormed the snowboard women's category last year in her rookie season. So there's something in the air with the rookies lately where they're coming on tour. They're so well versed. This is where we sit overall. Mia Jones right now is on 16,400 with 16,000 for Anna Martinez, so it is close. Last year's champ, Nomia Key, just behind, and so many more points here in FWT finals. Michaela Davis Meehan, the final FWT finalist. And then we see our riders that we were gutted to say goodbye to there, Nuria Castan-Baron, Natalie Allport, and Sarah Bacher, all hopefully moving on to the Challengers and earning their way back here to the Freeride World Tour. So we are ready to go with snowboard, or getting ready to go with snowboard women. We're going to take a look shortly at the start list to see what order they're going to drop in. The Freeride World Tour and FIS bringing in a new system where the top-ranked riders get to select their bib drop order. So Mia Jones deciding to go first. She wanted less bomb holes, less tracks, a strategic decision. We're going to see if it pays off. Michaela Davis Meehan, the Aussie rider, dropping second, and then the 2 French monsters, Anna Martinez and Nomia Key, both capable of taking the win here on the YETI Alaska Haines Pro face. And we're going to have a little look into the mentality that's got Mia Jones to this point, leading the Freeride World Tour by Peak Performance in her first ever attempt.
It's pretty incredible to be here. Definitely, like, this is such a dream free riding place, and you grow up watching the movies and it's all Alaska, and so the fact that like I'm able to be here and go out there and like ride some lines in Alaska is a total like crazy dream experience. Definitely, I came into the season and I was like, I'm gonna have no expectations and like this could go, like we'll just see what happens and I'm just gonna try and focus on my riding. And I definitely never could have expected that it would have worked out the way it is and that I'm sitting with the golden bib and that I'm here and I made it to the finals and I re-qualified. I've been really proud of the runs that I was able to do, and I think it just shows that like I at least am like at the level that the other riders on the tour are, and I deserve to be here, and I think it's a really good feeling that I know that I can and I have the possibility to stomp a really solid podium run. I haven't really ridden anything like the Alaska venue, and I haven't ridden anything like the Verbier venue, so I think both are going to be a completely different experience and unlike anything I've ever been on before. It's going to be so difficult to like choose a line, but ideally something like that flows well, but like you have to think about your slough and like a whole lot of other factors that I'm not necessarily used to or don't have much experience with. Ideally, just like a line that I can ride fast and that I can ride fluid and just like really enjoy the fact that we're out here in Alaska. At the end of the day and at the end of the two comps, I would be sick to win. That's definitely the goal, but yeah, we'll see what happens from now on.
All right, well, a little look into the mind of Mia Jones. Ryland, you were a rookie on the tour at one point. How impressive is it for someone who's 20 years old, who's brand new to this entire scene, to be kind of dominating?
Yeah, it's impressive. The women in general have just gotten so good. They're riding with all this power and taking it to the next level. And Mia, I mean, she's got the pedigree. She grew up. She is really killing it this year on tour. I was just out in the heli with her. She rode her first Alaska lines, and just we would scope them, and she would go up and lay every turn exactly where we talked about. I mean, I was really impressed. She is absolutely dialed and just riding at this very high level.
Yeah, high level at a young age, and it's a testament to the experience that she's got. I mean, growing up, riding in the backcountry with her brother Cass and her dad Jeremy, just putting in the mileage. Like you can't fake it out here. There's no way that you can fake it. The experience just is what it is, and the experience and mindset and sort of mental fortitude to put down lines, like you said, you know, where you're putting the turns where they need to go, because the consequence out here is as real as it gets.
Yeah, for sure. It takes, for me, just took a lot of practice. You know, you have to sort of train yourself to have a photographic memory, try and remember what you're supposed to be doing out there. And so for these rookies to come in and be this dialed, it's awesome. And it's only going to keep growing and getting better. And all these people, you know, it's pretty awesome, the tapestry of shred that it is, right? Where it's just building off of itself, and it's just cool to get to be a part of it.
Yeah, and the sport pyramid. All right, we're going to take a look here at the Peak Performance Fun Bet Fan Favorites. Your opportunity to get some skin in the game of fantasy freeride. 96% feel that Mia Jones is going to be finding herself on the podium. Nomia Key, last year's champ, with 94, and Anna Martinez getting 77% of the vote. So that is what you've had to say. Now we're going to see what the riders have to say. For every one of them, the pyramid of this, you know, starting out, whether it's junior freeride or riding with your friends as a kid, just kind of building the stoke, putting some skills under your feet, and then to find yourself just boom on the top of a huge Alaskan face in a competition bib. It's just an incredible ride that these athletes are going through and putting themselves into. We see young French rider Chamignard, Anna Martinez. She has been spectacular on the Freeride World Tour. She's getting it going. And love, the vibe is high up there. And it's something that we've seen kind of historically at the start gate on the top of the mountain, whether it's ski women or snowboard women. They keep it light. They keep it super fun. And they're always having a good time. They're lifting each other up. It's so good to see, like you said, where women's snowboard is at right now, because it is firing. All right. Sounds like we're going to get an opportunity to chat with our head judge and commissioner of the Freeride World Tour, Lolo Best. Lolo, we're one category in. Tell us what you've seen so far and how you're feeling about the event.
Well, what I feel about the event is like just amazing. I can't believe the actions the riders can put over there. The snow looks just great. I'm actually pretty envious, to tell you the truth.
Yeah, we're feeling the same way. So I'm sitting here with Ryland Bell, 2016 Pro Snowboard Men winner. And we were talking a little bit about line selection. and how difficult it is for the riders, particularly today, where they only had the morning to look. So relative to that, how do you feel that first category went in terms of the riders executing their lines?
Yeah, I think, do you know what? The riders have access to all the footage for the previous 3 years that we did the Freeride World Tour in Haines, Alaska. So they knew what they would have. I think in terms of, obviously, features, they're exactly the same. The snow was definitely different, but Ryland put a good runs, and he gave us some really good feedbacks regarding the snow conditions. So, yeah, I think it was pretty good for the riders.
All right, so each location we go to on the Freeride World Tour, the judges are recalibrating the criteria to suit the face. So what do you think it's going to take? We've seen one category. We've got 3 more to go. What's it going to take for the riders today to be successful in this event?
Well, like just referring to the snowboard main category, what we've seen, it was technical runs. But I guess the rider who were in front were the ones who really committed for their lines. Didn't spend too much time choosing features. Maybe sometimes it's better to skip some features, but you just go fast. And the venue is such a big one that you have to just send it. And I think that was one of the criteria that we looked at for this first category.
All right, thank you, Lolo Best. That is Freeride World Tour head judge and commissioner Laurent Lolo Best giving us his insight on what they're looking at, what they're looking for. We see the ski women getting themselves ready. We've got Justine Dupont there, as well as Zoe Delzapo. They're buckling in for their helicopter ride, getting ready to go up top. But of course, snowboard women going to be coming first. There's only 4 of them dropping. They are the ones still standing after the cut, after only 2 events. So aggressive cut this year, but Mother Nature always wins when we're in the mountains. As we see, still only 1 fall line track out of start 1. Plenty of canvas still to paint on up there, Ryland.
Oh yeah, Mia's stoked. I talked to her after I did my run and fired her up on it, told her to have a good time, and it's like Lolo just said, you just got to send it.
Yeah, that's what it's going to take. So here we go. Mia Jones, 20 years old, wearing the golden bib as the current leader of the Freeride World Tour by Peak Performance, riding out of Palisades, Tahoe. She is on the face now. Here we go. Snowboard women underway.
Coming in hot. Look at that, throwing some snow up and getting into the tech gnar here. Oh yeah, Mia.
So a little slab release there out to her left, but she is playing it smart by just staying up on the wall and letting that get clear. You can see it's just thundering down, and Mia just staying up nice and high. This is so smart. She didn't let that affect her at all and managed to find a bunch of features there. As you can see, that cascade just rolling down to join the rest of the avalanche debris that's been there from before.
Oh yeah, I mean, she was going so fast, she was beating the slough. She did the top section in about 5 seconds, just flowed. And being up there, that's steep. That is steep, 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 steep. So that was really impressive to see her flowing it like that and just attack with confidence. That was so cool.
Yeah, it's kind of becoming her trademark, that aggressive, high speed, fast, powerful riding. You know, she never really slows down. You see her pick lines that she can hold the fall line on.
Yeah.
And we heard it from Lolo. That's what the judges love to see. Fluidity is one of the categories, and you add that into an aggressive line, and it's going to score well. So staying up high on this spine as the pan back reveals that big roll away down low as Mia Jones is going to pop into the steeps and then keep this thing going.
Look at that. I mean, the thing about Mia is that just her turns, like, she has such good style on a snowboard. It's very uniquely her own, and it's really cool to see her in this realm, just like bringing the heat. Look at that snow. It's so deep. Here we go, Mia. Nice work.
So another freight train plowing down off to her left, but she stays well clear of it and executes that section like a veteran, 20 years old, leading the tour and riding like that. The judges are going to have their work cut out for them, but that was a great start. And I got to say, she picked bib number 1. Right now, looking like a good call.
That was a good call. I mean, completely fresh the entire way, stayed on her feet. Had to have been about one of the fastest times down the face. I mean, she was absolutely crushing that. Look at this shot here. I mean, does it get any better? Look at that texture. Just perfect powder. raging down on the side. I mean, this is an absolute A-grade film line.
Yeah, Mia Jones putting on a masterclass. You can see the snow there just erupt as she comes into the lower section.
Look how steep that is.
This drone just gives you at home on your couch the perspective of what these riders are dealing with. The ground just falls away, and Mia just keeping that slough and you know, a little more than slough, as you can see the crown line there where it fractured. Keeping it off at bay. Veteran slough management. Mia Jones opening up snowboard women with a bang. Big smile on her face. So the score coming in, and it goes, 91 points.
Yeah, Mia.
For Mia Jones. That is a mammoth score for a first run in a category. But the judges, you know, I'm so happy we talked to Lolo right before that, because he told us what they wanted to see, and then
just
Mia just did it. Just did it all top to bottom. Absolutely perfect. So she has had her work done now, and the rest of the riders, I don't know if there's cell service up there, if they can actually watch the broadcast.
We're in the middle of nowhere. There's no
and
cell
see
service.
those scores. No, so they're going to be a bit blind to the size of the score that just dropped for Mia Jones. But our next rider will be dropping out of start number 2, it looks like. Michaela Davis Meehan. She is primed and ready to go for her first drop on an Alaskan face. These riders, I mean, they talked about it this morning in the briefing. They're feeling really grateful, really lucky just to be here, to stand in that start gate.
Yeah.
And Michaela Davis Meehan now popping off the cornice and getting things started. A little bit of style right off the bat.
Yeah, and just look at how steep that is up there. She's coming in fluid with some speed, looking good. Snow's pouring everywhere. The light's perfect. She's crushing. This is cool.
So Michaela lining up these features, popping right off with a 360, holding on. She gets kind of pushed into the path of the slough, but does stay upright.
Holds it together. That is looking good. That was a beautiful 360. That was cool.
Oh, this category is electric right now. Michaela Davis Meehan crossing over. So where the slough has been running, and it's flushed all season there, the snow condition is really different than the rest of the face.
Yeah, 100%. The slough runnels are always a bit firm. So you could see there as she crossed it, it bucked her a bit, but she held it together, and then you get back in the good snow. And I mean, it's so steep up there, the snow's pouring down everywhere all around you, and just navigating it is a master class in itself, really. So
yeah, and especially after you've just done a 360
a huge
in that
360
exposure.
in that position, that's incredible. Like, I'm not trying to do that.
Yeah, well, Michaela is, and we are going to see the rest of her run. So the riders get a little bit of a mental break, but it's definitely not a physical break. In this flatter section, it's real steep at the top. It kind of bowls out and then pitches away again as we see Michaela approaching these spines, getting the grab there.
She's melon. Yeah, look at her throwing up the snow. This is just A-grade Alaska powder. Having just one of the runs of her life right now. You're all watching it live.
Yeah, bringing this to you live from the depths of the Chilkat Range in Haines, Alaska. Michaela Davis Meehan, the second rider in the snowboard women's category, and bringing fireworks here as she crosses over that old slide, gets up onto that pillow. Look at the slough, absolutely ripping. She is a fly on the wall here. And she's looking like taking a moment to regroup.
When the snow's raging like that, sometimes you got to make that call, and that was a good move in her part. She's stuck against the wall there. Let the snow go. Finish the run. Stay on your feet. Make it look good.
Yeah, and she's got herself into a tight little situation here, barely wide enough to fit her board through. The only option just to put it in the fall line and let it buck. I mean, it's the bottom of the venue, but it is so steep. You can tell by the way the slough is moving. I mean, that gives you the sense of how steep it is. There's no resistance to that slough sliding.
No, it's absolutely rocketing. I mean, the snow down there is peeling off the face at 50 miles an hour and raging. So that was a very impressive run. That was great to see. Bringing a 360 into exposed terrain at the top of your line like that, I mean, that's just world-class snowboarding.
And there's an element of pressure off. The cut is done. You're going to next year. You're going to Verbier. You're already in Alaska.
Yeah.
So now these riders have the opportunity to really just put all the cards on the table.
Well, you know what's funny is that I was at the bottom after the forerun, and she came down, and I literally told her that same thing. You're on the world stage. You made it. Show them what you can do. And she did.
Well, let's see here as we get this
Look at
replay.
this.
Backside 3, in exposure, landing.
Greased it.
And then she just gets a little bit pushed into the slough, and there's so much of it with so much pressure on her. This is a highlight. This is a game-changing moment right now,
Straight
I feel,
up.
in snowboard women. To do a move like that way high on this Alaskan face. It's so bold. And
Completely
Michaela,
committed.
Yeah, the commitment, incredible. And then this is where she had to take a little pause. You can see Niagara Falls just pouring down beside her. So taking a pause and then putting herself into this slot, launching off. She did get kicked back there.
Oh, shoot, yeah.
Back first landing, unfortunately, just getting kicked a little bit. So yeah, back coming down before the board. The riders or the judges are going to call that a full, a full fall, essentially. Like it's only a backslap if the board touches down first.
I'd say either way, she should be super happy about her run, because doing that 360 up there, I mean, no one else is doing that.
Well, she just shouted out Nuria Caston-Baron. That was for her. 48.67 for Michaela Davis Meehan. What could have been in that run as she got herself into truly a defining moment in freeride snowboard women there, launching a 360 and then just coming a little bit unglued lower down. We're back to the top. Snowboard women, the action rages on as Anna Martinez, riding out of Chamonix, France. She's sitting in second overall, just behind Mia Jones. The points gap is not huge, but with a 91-point run on the table already for Mia, Anna's got her work cut out for her.
Yeah, nice. Looks like going into a sort of a untouched zone here. Snow looks great, and she is just bringing the heat, coming off something right up top. Nice. That was cool. That was good style.
Yeah, and you were saying the POW in the shade, definitely a nicer texture than the stuff that's been touched by the sun.
Yeah.
So Anna choosing to stay in that north-facing aspect and find that absolutely spectacular snow.
Yeah, look at those plumes. I mean, she's throwing snow up, and she's having a good one, lining up a nice feature here. Sweet. Yeah, look at that.
So Anna keeping it clean and tidy as she comes over the lower section of the upper face, and still stacked up features below her. Nice and clean. Kind of not that same full throttle approach that we saw from Mia, but also doing everything to stay on her feet and keep that board in contact with the snow, as Anna Martinez now clear of the upper section. So a nice clean top part. We'll see what she can back it up with on the bottom.
Yeah, having some nice sprays here, throwing up that snow into the sun. You can tell that edge is just holding that below her powder. Nice.
Yep. And this is where it pitches away. So Anna Martinez is going to need to do some very clever navigation. Oh, she just puts the board straight into the fall line and absolutely flying down there. Brake check to get control. She has to cross a couple times over that slough line, and she's still got a couple of glory turns lined up below her.
Yeah, she's got to be happy with that run. Stayed on her feet, road's fast, fluid. That was a great run.
And popping over this little double out. Oh, and just losing it at the bottom. I'm not sure where that sits in that judging line. The judges said once the riders have connected with the glacier, that seems like it's right on the doorstep.
Yeah, that's a tough call. I'd give it to her in her favor. She had a great run. That's at the bottom.
Yeah.
But, you know, she did do a little error there, I guess. It could have played into it, but...
Yeah, we'll see what the judges have to say.
I
mean, yeah, if it was coming from the commentators, we'd give it to you, Anna. As we look back here, Ryland, at the replay of Anna Martinez's run.
Yeah, flowing it nice. And like you said, just with the limited scope and all the excitement of being in Alaska, for her to come here and lay that down, I think it's really impressive. A lot of features, too. She linked up everything well. Kept it fluid.
Yeah, and looking like she knew exactly where she's going. Getting down to this lower part, she just puts the board and lets gravity take her for a ride. And then using that powder, I think that's really smart. Gets out of the slough runnel, into the powder before she puts her board sideways, where she knows she's going to have nice contact and a good kind of braking effect.
Totally, yeah, way better purchase in the snow. And just when it's hero POW like this, you can really use the snow to your advantage. So it's nice to see that out there.
All right, well, 3 riders into a 4-rider field here in snowboard women. We just saw Anna Martinez as the judges doing some calculations there. She's looking anxiously, waiting for this score as it climbs up and goes to 58.33. So she moves into second right now. Mia Jones dominating this field so far with her 91-point run. If there is, well, I mean, there is only one woman left who can have a say in the podium conversation, which right now has Mia sitting on top, Anna Martinez in second, Michaela Davis Meehan in third. It is last year's Freeride World Tour overall champion out of Val Thorens, France, Nomia Key. She had a huge season last year, rookie on the tour, taking the title, now standing in the start gate for the first time ever in Alaska. And Noemi pushing out of the start gate, opting for that direct fall line approach.
Yeah, I talked to her down there, and she said, I'm going full fall line. And it's been great watching her on tour. She really understands the mountain well, and it shows. She brings a lot of fluidity and power. And I think one of the other riders who's really taken women's freeride into the next level.
Yeah, and you know, we talked earlier about the torch pass between, you know, your generation and the next, and now Victor onto the younger guys. It's been the same thing with the women, where Marianne Erti has taken some of these young French riders under her wing, and Noemi is ripping right now, getting her board bounced out from under her a little bit, but at absolute full pace for Nomia Key. And she's over in this part, Ryland, that you said was a little bit stiffer, a little bit firmer. And you can see it by the way the board is moving on the texture of the snow. It's not as easy to control.
Yeah, it's a little shallower over there, and just like it's giving back a little bit more. You can see it bouncing her, but she's riding fast, she's riding smooth, and just a, you know, a beautiful sunny power run in Alaska.
Oh, and now
look at that.
into this glory turn. Yeah. So now coming back over the slough runnel, she wants to reconnect with the powder. So Nomia Key on that run, we're going to have to check in the replay. Strong top, but then she kind of ran out of features on the lower section, which is one of I think the benefits of that more riders left part of the face. You get the bottom part where it spines and flutes again, where way over there riders right, it stays a little bit more open bowl style.
Yeah, totally. But you know, it's cool to watch everybody, their own perspective and what draws them to that area, you know. So it's the beautiful part of free riding, is that it's free, and then to see like, yeah, I'm gonna go over there because that's what appeals to me, and have a run like that. It's cool.
And that is the genius of line selection, is this face from start 1 high all the way over to start 2 is 1.5 kilometers. So a huge piece of terrain. And these riders have it all at their fingertips. The only thing kind of limiting their line selection is their own creativity. So whatever calls you in your free rider's heart is where you're going to go. And Nomia Key now making her way across the Little Jarvis Glacier down to our limited finish area. If you're noticing, there's a lot less crowd around. The only people watching live are up on the ridge where we are, the judges are, all the broadcast and production team, because it is in an avalanche deposit zone. So we want to keep the number of people down there to a minimum. So each category will be hanging down there until the category finishes, then they'll bump back up to the ridge top. So it's a bit of a quieter reception to the finish area than we're used to seeing. As we see, we got the ski men lined up on the ridge top. They've been watching. Big hug between these two riders. You said it before, Ryland, but they're competing against each other on the sheet. But really, it's just you and the mountain out there. And
100%.
Camaraderie between all these riders is just unmatched, especially on a big Alaskan face like this.
Yeah, well, and they're all at such a high level the camaraderie, and they're learning from each other. And when they see someone else do something that stokes them up, it's, you know, it's great.
So 53.33 there for Nomia Key, dropping her into third. So here we see how it shook out. Mia Jones with a 91-point run. This is just utter and total domination of the field. Anna Martinez, 58.33 in second. Nomia Key just behind with the 53.33. And Michaela Davis Meehan with that game-changing moment. Backside 360 high on the face. Finds herself in fourth after a bit of a rodeo ride down below. We're going to look back here at the run of Mia Jones. This was just incredible what she did up there.
Absolutely incredible. I mean, look at the speed. The drone could barely keep up with her. She's coming in full force, just bringing the power. Look at this style. The snow's raging. It's, yeah. I mean, it's fun to watch. Like, here we are. This is world-class snowboarding going down right in front of us. And these women are taking it to the next level and essentially changing the sport forever.
Yeah, pushing hard, Mia Jones with the full throttle approach, and the judges notice stuff like that. When you go hard right out of the gate, that gets their attention. It grabs them by the collar and says, watch this. I'm going to show you where this sport is at right now, and if I've got to put it on my back, I will do it. So yeah. Mia Jones, and then you said it yourself before, this part is an opportunity to show the judges your riding skill, your turns. And the turns that Mia Jones puts down are just electric. She's so stylish. What the board is doing in the snow is absolute perfection. Never put a hair out of place on this entire run.
No, absolutely. And like, you can just tell she's having fun. She's up there just living her best life, and it shows. Look at that.
Yeah, I
Unreal.
mean, you could watch that in a snowboard movie and be happy about it, and we're seeing it in a competition. That's the #1 takeaway for you young free riders at home. It's got to be fun. You got to
look at the way she engages that turn. Yeah.
That perfect, creamy Alaskan pow. I mean, Mia Jones just textbook riding.
Yeah, and it's hard to like put forward how steep this bottom section truly is, and just, yeah, domination. Especially right after Lolo's like, really, we want you to go fast. And she went fast.
Oh, she went fast. I mean, she's going to need a library card after that run because she just checked this face out top to bottom. That was unreal. So here's what it's done to the overall rankings. Mia Jones takes a stranglehold on the overall. The two French riders in a battle for second place overall with only 75 points between them. Michaela Davis Meehan sitting down there in fourth, but she has a serious day to be proud of with that 360. That's making the highlight reels for sure.
100%. Yeah, that was straight up next level.
All right, well, that is going to do it. Thank you so much for joining us, Ryland. It has been a pleasure going through this with you. Ryland Bell joining us here. Stay tuned for Ski Women coming up next. Welcome back to the YETI Alaska Haines Pro. We are 2 categories in, and it has been absolutely electric here in Haines. We're so happy to be back here. It's been since 2017 that the Freeride World Tour by Peak Performance has been in Haines. My name is Derek Foos, and I'm joined by Freeride World Tour Operations Manager Johnny Ray. Johnny, we are running on D-2, which means 2 days before the weather window was even supposed to start. And your operations crew has essentially been responsible for this happening at all. What have the last couple of days been like for you?
Yeah, it's been quite a rush, really. 2 days before, you lose a lot of time. Especially here, it's quite complex. We're in big mountains, backcountry, so we don't have the same flexibility as we do in a ski resort. Helicopters can only fly at a certain time when it's sunlight and beautiful weather. So yeah, we took a little bit of delay, but the local guys are great. They helped us out. We managed to get everything up on the mountain. We had teams sleeping up here the last 2 nights to work through the night to make sure that everything's up and running for this morning. And yeah, it's great to be back in Haines. We love the little challenge. This is what we're here for.
So describe a little bit the layers of what you guys have had to build, what you've had to pull off to make this happen. I mean, we can see some of it on the screen, but the behind the scenes, like, this has been a huge lift for this crew.
Yeah, it's been a really busy few days. Starting off, we have to build all the structures, the start gate, down in the heliport, all the nets, prepare everything. Debrief with the heliport, like the helicopter guys, to make sure that everything's good for them. And then once we sling everything, it's having crews on the mountain, crews on top, so we can unload everything. And then start building as we're going through. The other day we only started slinging at 3 p.m. and guys were sleeping, so as the slings were coming in, we were building up the tents so that they had their little bivouac for the night, making sure that they're all safe before we left at 5 o'clock. So yeah, it's been a rush, but we're up here and happy to be back.
And this is the most remote location that we deal with on the Freeride World Tour. You know, like the getting the equipment even here to Haines. Describe the challenges of the remoteness of operating deep here in the Chilkat Range.
Yeah, quickly, to get it here from Europe, we had to send it by plane and then 10 days in the boat. So we're happy that it made it and that the weather wasn't bad enough that it blocked our boat for the equipment. So yeah, it was quite tricky to get it here, but everything's here now. We're all set up and we're happy to have a comp finally.
Well, on behalf of the entire Freeride community, we want to give a massive thanks to you and your team, Johnny, for getting this off. It's the only sunny day in the weather window, and we're not even into the weather window, but we're 2 categories into a comp, and it's just a huge accomplishment. Thanks so much, Johnny.
Thank you.
Well, we are rolling on with the Freeride World Tour by Peak Performance Ski Women, the next category on deck, and we are kicking things off with a bang. This category is absolutely wide open for the taking. In the overall right now, we've got 2-time Freeride World Tour champion Justine Dupont and the current leading standings overall title, well, not title holder, but leader, Augustina Vidi, the Argentinian rookie, holding it down on top. Justine Dupont in second, Sabil Blanjeon, and then a bunch of rookies below that, Zoe Delzapo, Winter McBride, and Lou Bellerin. And we see the cut line there with our newly crowned FIS world champion, Zuzana Vitek, just under the cut, along with Jenna and Lena. If you guys are at home watching, Molly, Astrid, and Lily Bradley, a huge shout out to all of you. Really hoping to see you back here at the Freeride World Tour. We are here with Ski Women. My name is Derek Foos, and I'm joined for Ski Women by Katie Burrell, back in the booth at the Freeride World Tour. Katie, how are you feeling?
So happy to be here, Derek. As the self-proclaimed #1 fan of the Freeride World Tour, I am consistently blown away by this event, and this one has to take the cake so far for me. From all the ones that I've seen, landing on this ridge, understanding the scale of these mountains in person, and then seeing the way the athletes are responding first run down it is just so amazing.
It really is. I mean, we've been sitting here in the commentary booth with our jaws on the floor, and knowing especially the fact that the riders only got to see the venue this morning. There was no day before face check because of the rush. We're going to take a look at our start list and see the orders the riders are going to be dropping in. Winter McBride, the Utah rookie, kicking things off for Ski Women. Our current leader, Augustina Vidi, first Argentinian woman on the Freeride World Tour, and she is in the leader's bib. Sabil Sabil Blanjeon riding out of Verbier, two-time Freeride World Tour champion Justine Dupont, Zoe Delzapo, and wrapping it up with another French rookie, Lou Perrin. It is a stacked field of heavy hitters, and we've been talking a lot about the rise of the rookies this year. Only 2 veterans making it through the cut, and the other 4 ski women all first year on tour. Incredible performance from the new riders on the tour this year in ski women.
It's pretty incredible to see the depth of talent in this field. The fact that some of those veterans aren't here today, but the riding is as heavy as it's about to be. It's super exciting. These women are so talented. They're all so rock solid, and just cannot wait to see what they throw down on this face.
Well, Winter is just taking it all in. She works on the admin team for the IFSA. That's the governing body for freeride in North and South America. And Winter McBride will be kicking things off. Peak Performance Fun Bet fan favorites. This is Freeride Fantasy League. Justine Dupont getting 94% of the vote, an overwhelming vote there. Sabil Blanjeon with 65%, and the current rankings leader, Augustina Vidi, with 56% of you feeling that she will land on the podium. If you see those numbers don't add up to 100%, it's because of the options of landing on the podium, not just for the win in the competition. And I just realized I forgot to put my fun bet picks in. So I'm going to be taking a big fat 0 on this one.
Copy that, Derek. We've got Winter in the start gate. The early reports back from the snowboard men and snowboard women saying that the snow is riding really well. It's super nice. It's cold, but it's soft and consistent. Winter was so excited when I was chatting to her before she flew up to the ridge in the start gate.
Well, Winter McBride riding out of Ogden, Utah, making Snow Basin her home. She got a chance to go home for a minute in between stops, and she is starting her campaign here down this enormous Alaskan face as we kick ski women off.
And right into it, Derek. She's in the air, cruising down through here. Super powerful turns. Look at that blow up snow.
Well, Winter, she's kind of making a name for herself by riding high speed and aggressive style as she comes into this extremely technical section, launching into the couloir, keeping it moving. The judges notice that into the white room. When the snow blows over your head, you can't see where you're going. And when you're standing on a 40+ degree Alaskan face, that can be daunting. But stylish execution there for Winter McBride as she exits the top and is now moving over to the rider's right. This is where things get really steep.
Losing her footing a little bit there, Derek, but so solid in the air, so consistent on her skis, smooth. She looks great.
Yeah, and Winter keeping the style, throwing the shifties there. Style, air and style is one of the judges' categories there. Flying past Jeremy Bernard there. He's going to have some incredible photos at the end of this day. And Winter keeping it moving there, managing the slough. It's also completely convex. So the riders, you know, it's not easy to see where they're going. But Winter making short work of that section. And she's got this big feature that we saw come into play with the snowboarders, launching perfectly off that. And getting caught up in the slough. Oh, those slough deposits, the snow conditions there. It's firmer, it's harder, and when you transition from powder to that firm snow, it can be a rough ride. And Winter with such a heartbreaker there, going down right at the bottom of the face.
Oh, that's absolutely crushing, Derek. She was having such a good run, looking so good in the air, making sure she's okay, checking herself out here.
Yeah,
Two thumbs up. We got the clearance.
So she's the only thing hurt is the ego and the what might have been moment there for Winter McBride as she was on an absolute belter of a run. We look back here at this replay. So she picked up a bunch of speed through the couloir, making those absolutely beautiful turns. And then off this air, she looked so solid in the landing, but it was the run out that got her. So she transitions across, making a turn back into that slough. Oh, and she just got crumpled. You could see her knees come up almost to her chin. It's an incredible texture difference there, Katie, from soft to not soft at all.
I feel fairly unqualified to comment on slough in Alaska, Derek, having never experienced it myself, but you can sense just how smooth it was for her before that. And so I really just feel for her, it's absolutely just the snow grabbing her in that moment.
All right, well, while we wait for the ski runner to make their way down, who are the snowboard men from the first category, by the way, we've got a chance to catch up with Mia Jones. Mia, you just took the win in Alaska with a dominant performance. Describe what it felt like to stand in the start gate up there.
Yeah, I think it's definitely a little intimidating to be out here in Alaska, and the mountains are so big, and the snow was incredible, so it really came together nicely. But yeah, a lot of nerves.
All right, you only had this morning really to scope that run out. We've got your run on the split screen here. Did you do exactly what you planned to do?
Not at all. I kind of missed my top section and my bottom section, but it ended up working out, and I had a lot of like backup plans, so yeah, it ended up being good.
So we were watching and during your run commenting on the slough management. You can see in this section the slough was actually ripping on your left, and then lower down you actually cut out a little pocket on one of those fall away spines. So describe that. Were you aware of that, and you were actively working to avoid those slough runnels?
Yeah, I think I was definitely like when I was choosing a line, trying to choose something that was like moving across the venue and trying to not cross back in my slough. But yeah, I don't know. So definitely thinking about that.
Mia, your run was fast and hot. You flashed it. Was that the strategy going in, or was it once you got on there, that was the speed you had to keep?
Yeah, I think I definitely went in and I wanted to do a fast run, but yeah, the venue was pretty steep, so you pick up speed pretty fast.
Well, I think we do just need to mention a 91-point run, nearly 40 points clear of the next athlete in the category. I mean, you're a rookie on this tour, but you're riding like a veteran. Well, how are you feeling now with this win under your belt about the last remaining event in the season?
Yeah, I think this is definitely a really good confidence booster, and I'm excited to check out Verbier. I've never been there, so I think it should be really sick.
All right, well, thank you, Mia Jones, sitting on top of the snowboard women's category with a just incredible performance. Katie, you kind of mentioned it. The aggression that she rode with in that run it really unmatched in the category.
She absolutely flashed it, Derek. Everyone on the ridge here was commenting on just how fast she really made it down the face. Super smooth, but with so much speed, and just looked so comfortable out there.
Coming into this season, there was a lot of talk about, Mia Jones, that's Jeremy Jones' daughter. I think the narrative is going to be changing, and Jeremy's just going to become known as Mia's dad. Oh, that guy? Yeah, that's Mia Jones' dad.
It is it's a classic Jedi Padawan story, isn't it?
Yeah, a little bit of a passing of the torch. So Mia Jones taking the win. We can see the ninjas there. The snowboard men, immediately after snowboard men's category, got back in the helicopter and flew back to the top to act as ninjas for the two ski categories. Selfless for them. But maybe let's not put too much selflessness in it.
I was going to say that chatting with these guys, it sounded like they were pretty happy to get back up to that ridge and shred these lines with a little bit less pressure on their shoulders.
All right, while Winter connects with her equipment, we have a little look in some insight into the mindset of two-time Freeride World Tour champion Justine Dupont.
I think it feels really unreal to think that I'm going to go to Alaska. It will be my first time ever skiing in those mountains. I think for me, freeride is still new. I still learn so much every day. I'm outside on the mountain. And Alaska always been something that you see on movie, you see on social media, and it seems so far away. It seems so untouchable. And to be now part of it and to be going to that final in Alaska, it's a dream come true, actually.
Well, there's a reason that they call this the dream stop, and I think Justine summed it up nicely there. It's something that you've watched, and now to be in it, I mean, it's just incredible for these athletes.
It's incredible, and it's so much bigger than I realized.
It really is enormous. I mean, 1.5 kilometers from start one high over to start two. So that's the breadth of the face as we are back and ready to go with ski women Augustina Vidi, the first woman from Argentina ever on the Freeride World Tour, and she is leading ski women right now. She pushes out of the gate, heading out to the rider's left. The athletes have to navigate this. It's slightly uphill, but at least these ski women, they have poles to deal with it. The snowboarders were getting slingshots from the guides and ski runners that were up high on the face. So Augustina, she is really carrying the Argentinian freeride community for an incredible ride as she starts her campaign, and she has a hefty piece of terrain below her, going double. Oh, but landing sideways there. And Augustina's going to need to self-arrest because this is incredibly steep. So she holds, look at her fingernails dug in on the edge of oblivion for Augustina Vidi.
Oh.
That was a scary one.
She is gripped there, Derek, but telling us that she's okay. Holding the #1 spot, and you can see why. She's got aggression, she's got vision. She looked at that thing, she was going for the double. Unfortunately, kind of hit side hill there and went down, but you can see the way that she looks at this face and just how aggressive she was about to ride.
Yeah, exactly. There was going to be no holding back. So we'll dig into this a little bit. She pops off the first step of this double and landing, unfortunately, completely sideways. So that force has to go somewhere, and it goes into a tumble. And then Augustina digging into her self-arrest skills to stop herself. Yeah, just got bucked there, and the skis just ejecting, not wanting to have anything further to do with it. And Augustina taking a couple of tumbles there, but digging her boots in, digging her hands in before the terrain pitches over again. So skis are dug in there. You can see how deep the snow is there. And I mean, that was incredibly aggressive.
I mean, I think she got a little off camber going off that second hit there, Derek, and then it was almost a full hockey stop with from a 20-foot drop. So that, I mean, if she'd have held on to that, it would have been it's almost an impossible physical equation, as you say. And she's so lucky to have been able to stop herself where she did, because it is so steep up there. One ski's high, one ski's low. She's going to need a hand to grab both of those. And that's not easy to get either of those things. And post hole and boot pack up and grab all of your gear.
Yeah, she's in a bit of a pickle.
My goodness.
But we've got some of the best freeride snowboarders in the world given their hand to help out as ski ninjas. And as we said, not a bad job to take. As looks like Enzo Nilo bringing the ski down to Ago. Once she gets that other ski, if she can get it on her right foot, she'll be able to side slip down on the downhill ski to reconnect with the other one, making herself a little bit of a platform. As you said, Katie, I agree completely. She didn't mean to land sideways like that. She kind of got bucked on the takeoff of the second step in that double, and it did look like it kicked her around, because no skier wants to land sideways off a drop, least of all on the top of a huge Alaskan face.
It definitely wasn't a transition move she was looking to make. That was the exit. That was the run out. And it looked like the right of her body just kind of twisted there. And I'm imagining she was hoping to sort of send off the left of that kind of nose there, based on what she'd scoped from across the valley and the ridge, looking back at this. I can understand the vision, and unfortunately it just didn't quite connect for her.
Well, and this is something that I think we should talk about. This is hard. This is really hard. What these riders are doing is difficult, and we've seen in snowboard men and snowboard women, you know, various levels of execution of the dream, of the goal. And we even heard from Mia with that 91-point run. She didn't put the run down that she wanted to. That's a huge part of freeride, is you get going, and then when the wheels come off your car, well, how do you steer it? You know, what do you do? What do you do to continue to stay on your feet and to continue rolling on? And obviously there are levels to this, and for Augustina there was no continuing, and it was the same with Winter. Once the skis are off, you're taking a no score. But yeah, these athletes, they are pushing themselves. They are finding out where their envelope is, and it's difficult.
There's so much improvisation that goes into skiing this kind of terrain. I talk like I have done it, but just based on what I have heard people talking about the way that this morning rolls out. They're landing at the A-frame. They're flying out across the river, over into the terrain here. They're on the ridge. They got the binoculars out. They're looking across, trying to figure out how it all connects, trying to figure out what they're going to do, not fully being able to understand the way things roll, a feature here, a feature there that you're not expecting. Half the battle is just being able to improvise on your feet once you're in this stuff and make it all link and make it all connect. And I mean, I'm imagining Augustina, the way she's looking at that across from where we're seated, Derek, is the vantage point that we have is the same vantage point the athletes have in the morning. And I'm looking up at that thing and trying to figure out how you can do the math on the speed you need, what's happening really over there. And all of it is just once you're on course, you're having to react and improvise in the moment. And it's a massively impressive skill set.
Yeah, a bit of a ski around and find out mentality. See what you can do on this huge face. It's 750 vertical meters, absolutely enormous. The biggest face on the Freeride World Tour by far. And
nice to see you're getting some big beauty soul turns down through the fan there, Derek, and skiing out through the gap here and being able to enjoy the snow and the sun. And
yeah, so she's getting her glory pow run, and this woman is about to put herself to the test. Sabil Blanjeon, Verbier rider, sitting 4th currently in the rankings, making her way through the cut. One of only 2 veterans to make the cut, and Sabil now pushing out of the start gate and taking on this daunting Alaskan face.
I'm a huge fan of Sabil's ski style, Derek. She's so solid. She's so strong, powerful, and consistent. I love watching the way she turns. It's the kind of turning that we all wish we could do.
Yeah, and this being a return from injury season for Sabil, the first event in Baqueira in Spain, she said she was just feeling it out, seeing how her knee felt, and she said, oh, I have way more in the tank. And we saw her bring that in Val Thorens to the podium as Sabil going right off the nose of that air with a huge feature. She's got to get her speed under control. She does a great job of it, back in control and continuing to tick off features on this face.
She is mocking through this course, Derek, and looking so good in the air. The speed that you get as you land and the acceleration that comes in these kinds of steeps, managing it so well and lining up for another one here.
Yeah, gravity's not playing in Alaska. It is in play the whole time, and speed comes at you fast and furious. But Sabil, you know, she's a physiotherapist in her spare time, I guess, when she's not being a pro skier in Alaska. But she knows the body well. She's extremely physically prepared. Mental game is strong. She said this morning she was feeling really nervous. We're not seeing it in the run.
Can't tell when she's on her skis. That must be in her head. Look at her flashing through this, managing so well, holding through that tougher snow there as the consistency changes and lining up for another boost off that bottom air. Look at that snow blowing up here.
And this is smart. She stayed out on the skier's right side of that avalanche debris that took out Winter McBride. So Sabil showing her mountain knowledge there, her savvy, that she was able to recognize a hazard there and avoid it while in motion. As you said, this is all coming at them while they're doing it. The plan just rolls out. As we look here at the replay, the upper section of Sabil's run, so solid. Big air, bolts landing.
That looked so good, Derek. She's so good in the air. Held that landing so perfect right on top of her skis. And then you're right, she manages it so well. Sees this nice patch of snow, untracked, unmessed up by the slough, and just laces through there on the bottom. Oh, God, that looks good.
Yeah, I mean, staying in the powder, first of all, it just feels way better. But it's also, strategically, it's just the better option because she was able to control her speed and keep herself out of that big slough pile that took out Winter McBride already. So Sabil Blanjeon with a masterful run, the first woman in the category to go top to bottom clean. You can see the judges there, a little bit down on Aaron Style, which is, you know, I feel like we can appreciate that. And throwing tricks in a face like this, that's just another step completely.
I mean, they talk about the velocity as soon as you leave the ground in a place like Alaska, and managing a trick with the kind of speed, it's 10x what it is on want to...
So 75.67 for Sabil. She goes into first place in the ski women's category. She is the third rider out of 6. So a solid, solid performance there from the Swiss rider Sabil Blanjeon, making her campaign. As we see right now, she is sitting on top with Winter McBride and Augustina Vidi, both taking no scores, big crashes, as we're sliding on with the ski women's category. The reigning champion, 2-time champion, Olympic gold and silver medalist. There's not many things that Justine Dupont has not won, but the YETI Haines Alaska Pro is one of them, and she would love to add that to the case as she pushes out of the start gate and gets things going.
Her first time in Alaska, Derek, is dropping in on this massive, massive ridge. Oh, no!
And Justine getting caught up in the rocks on that takeoff and bucked over.
Oh, no.
So she's going to take a sec to regroup. Hopefully she's okay. As we pull back, Justine Dupont going down hard there. Not sure if she still has her equipment or if her skis.
Looks like she's boot packing
Oh,
up.
she's just got one ski, but the other one is close. So she's going to be able to retrieve that herself. A scary moment there for the reigning 2-time Freeride World Tour champion, Justine Dupont. We're going to have to dig into the replay to understand what happened there. But doing a good job of self-arresting again. The ski women, unfortunately, having to use that skill a little more than we'd like. So she's approaching. She gets down. Oh, she just gets a little too low. And unfortunately, hiding under the snow are rocks. So a little bit more of an aggressive approach on that one might have served her well. But, I mean, she's in a terrifying place on Earth in that moment. So Justine, she's okay.
Looks like she's lost a pole there, Derek, so she's got the one, abandoning it.
That pole might just be gone. That lives in Alaska now.
Returning to the Earth.
Yeah.
The ski pole.
So Justine Dupont, this is an interesting strategy point with 2 no scores already and only 1 completed run. Oh, no, her ski did come off. I was about to make a statement that was absolutely untrue. Her ski came off, so she is also in the no score gang here. So she's just going to ski off the venue and getting caught up a little bit.
Yeah, looks like the snow changed on her a little bit as well, where she went down, Derek. Just the speed in which she was coming in and then the speed in which she went over. It looked like it grabbed her. You know that feeling right around the knees, or just kind of whoop, that jerking
One of the
feeling.
worst feelings in skiing when your feet stop.
And you mentioned she looked a little low. It almost looked like she was thrown into that position and tumbled. She actually flipped over those rocks, which, yeah, I mean, she's lucky she stopped where she did because she kept going. She's going off something way bigger than what she did.
Yeah, and this is just a look into the riders. They wear back protectors, they wear helmets, they wear mouth guards, they have avalanche shovels and probes, transceivers on. The safety equipment is not for show. There are real consequences in this terrain doing what these riders are doing, and so all of those safety measures taken are for a reason. And unfortunately, Justine Dupont showing us exactly why back protectors and helmets are absolutely critical in this sport. So 4 riders in to ski women, and we have 1 completed run with skis on. This is a fascinating turn of events. In the no scores, the riders are judged up until the point they lose their equipment. So with Augustina and Justine going down high on the face and Winter nearly completing the whole run, Winter will be leading the crashers currently. As we go back up, hoping for no more of that. Zoe Delzapo riding out of La Clusaz, 20 years old, part of the rise of the rookie in ski women this year. She has been incredible, standing on a podium in her very first Freeride World Tour event. She's going to be looking to replicate that here in her first time ever down a huge Alaskan face. Zoe making her way past. We've got the snowboard men up there acting as ski ninjas and the ski men up there getting ready for their big day here in Alaska. Zoe making her way down the ridge.
Nice to get the blood pumping as you move across the top of the ridge here, Derek, and just land on your skis before you're dropping in to this monster face.
All right, so there's the wave. That's indicating to the judges that's where she is going to drop in. You can see the spine feature, and Zoe launching right off it immediately, taking an aggressive approach on the upper section of this face.
She is looking good, Derek. Big, strong turns. super strong, coming down through this section, snow's blowing up everywhere, lining up into the nose off of this one.
Oh,
Huge.
This is a big one.
Boom.
Zoe Delzapo stomping that. Now she's got to manage this speed, but really clever because it's a flatter part of the venue, not flat by any stretch, but slightly flatter. So it gives her an opportunity to get that speed wrangled in and get herself back in control because there is plenty more action looming below her. Zoe flying off that one too. So trademark aggression from the young French athlete.
Super smart line, Derek, the way she managed that so brilliantly. And now moving into this, you can see the convexity of this roll. This is totally blind for these athletes as they roll into it.
Does she look almost casual right now? She's in Alaska on an enormous face and just taking it all in stride. Zoe Delzapo getting the speed under control. Like you said, Katie, it pitches over and it gets so steep so quickly. Another big air, holding the fall line. Zoe now coming. Oh! And she goes sailing off the edge of that cliff. Zoe Delzapo going down, but she's got both her skis on, so there's going to be a score.
This is tricky for these ski women right now, Derek. They are managing so many different pieces on this face, and she's flying down through the bottom here, getting those glory turns, as you say. That's crazy, the way it rolls over like that, and then the snow just changes so fast on them. You're doing one thing, and then all of a sudden, you're skiing a completely different kind of terrain, or snow.
Yeah, and Zoe, unfortunately, we'll see here, the top of her run so aggressive, just sailing off this blade, clearing the rocks, perfect connection into the transition.
She looks so good on her skis, and this was massive. Look at that, boom.
Yeah,
lacing
and
it.
Having the room on the apron to run the speed out, get herself back into control, and then we see, this is the upper section again. This is where things got a little hairy. She landed this beautifully. She's managing the speed. The speed gets a little out of control, and she had to turn there, or she would have launched to the moon off that next perfect flat deck takeoff. But by putting her skis sideways, unfortunately, she wasn't able to hold the pressure, and she went down, actually falling off a corner of that cliff.
The last drop she hit, Derek, you could see just how steep it was and just how steep the run out was. Managing speed down through that to line up that bottom hit is not an easy feat.
It's so difficult. And I think we have to keep refreshing our minds here on how hard this is for these riders. 58.67 for Zoe Delzapo. So this is kind of wild to say because Zoe looks like she's pretty rattled, but she's guaranteed a spot on the podium right now.
She does look like she's pretty rattled, Derek, but she also just launched off.
She fell off a cliff in
Alaska. So I understand why her body might be feeling a little banged up at this moment.
But she is going to be standing on the podium regardless of what happens next. And Sabil Blanjeon, the worst she can do is second. But this woman is going to have her say, Lou Perrin, another one of the powerful team of French riders coming out of Val Thorens. She went to the Olympics for slopestyle, shifted gears to freeride, and has been blowing the doors off, made finals in her very first year, and now finds herself in Alaska. What do you think that the mental state is after watching, we've had 5 riders down, one of them has made it clean.
Well, you mentioned her Olympic career, Derek, and it's clear to me with some of these athletes, just the way that they are such dialed competitors, and they know how to get out of their heads, into their bodies, and onto course, regardless of what's going on around them, even if it's total mayhem.
Well, Lou airing stylishly off the cornice at the very top and already has stacking up features as she is staying over here way further on the rider's left. Holding on to it, though. She's got control, using that powder to slow herself down. So a really good top section and a huge air from Lou Perrin. She landed right in someone else's bomb hole, but she managed to regroup there. A heavy landing for Lou, but holding onto it.
She is mocking through here, Derek. That bomb hole was so big, I thought it was a rock. The way she held on to that is unbelievable. Such leg strength. Those hours in the gym really paying off for her right now, and she is hauling through this roll into the bottom section of this face.
Yeah, and this is where it starts to get heavy again. You feel in that flat section like, okay, I've done it, but it gets real, and we've seen this section take a few other riders down. Rivera making short work. No! She goes down as well, getting gobbled up by that slough, but she's still got both her skis on, still launching off that air. What a bucking Bronco ride for Rivera.
A recovery on that bottom air there, and managing to just stand back up and send her off that last hit. She was skiing so strong down through the slough in that bottom little coulee there, Derek, and then found herself down, but back up.
Well, we saw Lou with that nice pop. She's got almost like the bald eagle style. We are in Alaska, condor pop. And then getting control back, using the powder. I mean, so much of this was so good for Lou. And then she just put herself right into the heaviest landing.
My. That was not an easy one to hold on to for the folks at home. That is serious strength.
Yeah, she got bucked there by someone else's track in the slough. Stands up,
wow,
doesn't even speed check, just launches off that lower air. So the judges they're in a bit of a pickle because they've got some stuff that they need to dock, but they also have a lot to reward in that run. I
mean, aside for that one, I mean, call it a butt check. That was a pretty smooth run.
So Sabil Blanjeon, I mean, this is just goofy, like the only woman in the entire category to go clean top to bottom. We're going to see, I think, a decent score. I don't like to put any numbers out there in speculation because the judges, they're watching through binoculars, they're looking at details. We're cheerleaders here in the commentary booth and are cheering so hard for all these riders. So we'll see. They're probably weighing that against the run of Zoe Delzapo, who is currently sitting in second. I have to think that the clean perfection of Sabil Blanjeon's run is not going to be troubled. Although the aggression that Lou showed, I don't know. I can't even dig into it.
It is a tough one, Derek, but rules are rules, and I think that the crash at the bottom there, albeit recovered and able to send it off that bottom and manage it so well,
yeah, there's going to be a control
take
dock.
It
there's going to be a control dock for sure for that. The rest of Lou Baren's run, absolutely masterful. And I think important also to recognize the entire ski women's field has never skied in Alaska before. So they are throwing down out there. 72.67. So just
second
behind
place.
Sabil Blanjeon. Sabil takes the win. Lou Baron in second. And Zoe Delzapo rounding it out as we take a look here at the category standings. The Swiss rider from Verbier taking the win in Alaska. Lou Baron and Zoe Delzapo completing the French 2-3. Winter McBride, well, she got furthest down, so she's taken points for fourth. Justine Dupont and Augustina Vidi. As we take a look back, Katie, at this winning run from Sabil, the only rider to go top to bottom clean.
And here it is, Derek, that this is her first time dropping in on the scale of these kinds of mountains in Alaska, and she's got that classic Sabil style, shredding down through here so strong, lining up these beautiful turns into these hits that she lined up so nicely.
And maybe from of all of these riders growing up in Verbier, there is no shortage of huge terrain in that resort as well. Sabil, you know, has skied the Bec des Roses just for fun. So being in big terrain, she's no stranger to it. And she was able to put all the puzzle pieces together and build this line from top to bottom, and the only one able to execute clean, and coming away from that with a win here at the YETI Haines Alaska Pro.
Her big mountain sense really coming into play today, Derek. He's doing her a favor having that kind of experience, because she was able to find these nice patches all the way down through and really use the snow to her advantage where she could.
Yeah, it's nice when you can use something that's so much fun to also help you execute your run. You know, it has a nice double whammy for these riders, and Sabil was so strong through this section. She stayed out of the way of the slough. She stayed in the powder.
And that's the slough management moment that that chewed up a lot of the other women in this field for that bottom hit, that she managed to sort of navigate around the side to her right and giving her the opportunity to clean off that cliff at the bottom.
Yeah, she went through so many sections that took out other riders and took them on well. So Sabil Blanjeon moves into the leader's position in the overall rankings. Leonardo and Zoe Delzapo sitting in second and third, so exactly the same as the event standings. Augustina Vidi, Justine Dupont, and Winter McBride all going down today with no scores. So it's reflective of the fact that there are more points on offer in these FWT finals events, that a win in one of these can really rocket you up. So Sabil Blanjeon takes over the top spot with a masterful run here and takes the win. Ski women done and dusted. You're gonna wanna stay tuned because ski men is coming up next from Haines, Alaska. All right, welcome back to the Freeride World Tour by Peak Performance. We are at the YETI Haines Alaska Pro, and our final category of the day, ski men, set to kick off. They have had all day watching both snowboard categories and the ski women throwdown, and now they are ready to have their say. These athletes have been dreaming of this moment, coming to Haines, Alaska, the end of the road here where the mountains meet the ocean, the Chilkat Range providing the backdrop for this absolutely majestic stop. And the Freeride World Tour, so grateful to be back in Haines after an 8-year hiatus. Here we go, dropping first, Max Hitzig, Ross Tester, Marcus Goguen, Wei Tanhov. I mean, what a way to start a category. The top riders able to pick, and Max electing to go first. As we move down, it is a who's who. We see the current World Tour leading man, Ben Richards. If he wins today, he takes the overall Freeride World Tour title, getting a world title under his belt. Ugo Troubat, Teemo Rollin, and Victor Hailwoods will be finishing off the category. 81% of you feel that Ben Richards is going to continue his role. He's won 3 events, 2 World Tour stops, and the FIS World Championships. Max Hitzig and Marcus Goguen splitting the rest of the vote. Peak Performance Fun Bet. It is Fantasy Freeride, your opportunity. Get some skin in the game. Tell us who you think is going to do it. So there we see the man himself, the 2024 Freeride World Tour champion, Max Hitzig. The German rider going to be the first man out. He will have been studying the other categories, watching them ride, seeing where people are getting in trouble, seeing where the landings are good, seeing where the snow is good. There's so many different snow conditions on this face. Anything south facing is definitely a little stiffer. Anything north facing is deeper. Things that have slid that are running on bed surface are much firmer. And we saw, especially in the ski women, the runnels where the slough has either slid through or gathered at the bottom are providing a very difficult snow surface for the riders. Buck and Bronco ride here in Haines. So Hitzig will have taken all of that into account, putting his run together. And if nothing, that man is a calculated athlete. He'll know exactly where he's going, where the tricks are going to go, where he can get speed, where he needs to get rid of it. all of those things running through the head of the man in the start gate, Max Hitzig. Only 23 years old. He's already got a world title. He's already missed a season riding out of Montafon. I mean, his wins on the tour are just stacked up. We've seen him win in Golden. We've seen him win in Verbier. We've seen him win all over the place. And now hoping to add a YETI Haines Alaska Pro victory as we get underway here with ski men in Haines for the first time since 2017. And what a way to start it. Max Hitzig kicking us off. Well, he's got to make his way down the ridge. The riders have a 1.5 kilometer long ridge top to choose from. Wherever they want to enter, they can. Just looming to his right is a big cornice, so he's going to make his way past that and even further down. So nothing easy as he pops into this double made classic earlier and immediately onto his back, but getting control back. Max Hitzig now onto this low buttress, flying over it, finding a beautiful powder landing, and Hitzig well and truly into his run here, lofting a backflip into the powder, but under-rotating. And Max Hitzig going down. That is uncharacteristic for the 2024 champ. My gut tells me he thought there was going to be a little bit more or a little bit less give on that lip when you push off to set a backflip. If the lift gives way, then unfortunately your feet fall out from below you instead of your body going up and rotating, because we never see Hitzig under-rotate a backflip. That is bread and butter stuff for him. He did wave. Now he's just kind of, I think, taking stock of things as he's going to make his way back up. Difficult boot packing conditions as he's going to have to reunite with his skis. We'll take a look back. Laying the backflip out. Doesn't look like it gave away too much. He just shorted the rotation. Unfortunately for Max Hitzig, pushed off. It was a little off camber, that takeoff. So possibly one shoulder got a bit lower than the other. And we see here, this was his entry into this double, and he got tossed on that one, landing nearly flat on his back. So challenging out there. I mean, for truly one of the best skiers in the world to have such a rough ride, that tells you a little bit about how the conditions are as we make our way through the day. He just got a little bit bucked. That's a short patch, a short pad on that double. So Max Hitzig having a rough time getting bucked on the first one and then under-rotating the backflip. So tough start to the day for the 2024 World Tour champ, as he is back with his gear and making his way. Well, at the very least, the consolation prize is an absolutely beautiful run down this spectacular Alaskan powder. He is a tiny speck on this enormous face, 750 vertical meters. And the part that Max is in now, a little bit mellower, but the snow, absolute perfection. As the sun has been moving across the face, the more sun-affected areas are providing a slightly firmer landing for the riders, and Max Hitzig falling victim to that. So looking up here, we've got 3 starts. Start 1 high, which we see Ross Tester. He's going to be the very first person of the day in any category to drop in from this start. And this is classic Alaskan riding. It drops away unbelievably steep underneath as Ross getting himself moving. He's got to find his entry point on the cornice there. Little wave for the judges to let them know he's going. And he is in now to this absolutely classic piece of Alaskan terrain. Popping over, you can see how steep it is. 360, and Ross lands perfectly, getting the speed under control, using the shape of the terrain to slow himself down. Unbelievably committed from Ross Tester there. This man was built for freeride. He's got the freestyle skills. He's got all the ski technique and the boldness to pull moves like that, like he's out here in a ski movie. You can see the slough launching. He does another huge 360, holding on. Ski kicks out from beside him, but he holds it as Ross Tester putting on a masterclass in Freeride on the upper section of this face. And he has absolutely lit this thing up. We wondered, watching Max go, if we were going to see a repeat of Ski Women. But Ross Tester so far looking so solid. Now standing on top. There's a bunch of texture in the snow underneath, but Ross handles it well. Now holding on. He's got to cross that slough. Oh, just perfection. So Ross Tester has completed the top section, and he's going to go over and get another little bit of glorious Alaskan powder before he pops out onto the Little Jarvis Glacier, and completes one of the best runs I think we've ever seen at this Haines venue. That was unbelievable. I'm nearly speechless as we look back at the replay. Ross, in the steepest part of this venue, goes 360, lands perfectly, gets on his left foot to shut down the speed. This was just incredible. And then launching another 360. He does it like it doesn't even faze him. He had to take a little pause here because there's so much texture in the snow underneath that big cliff. But Ross Tester using every bit of ski technique at his disposal to put that run down just perfect. So we saw from the video judge every single category maxing off the scale, lit up like a Christmas tree. This is Freeride at its finest. You can see just a little fist bump there for Ross Tester as we have been waiting to see what the ski men were going to do with this face.
Oh, that was so fun.
If you'll come stand right in front of the camera, please.
There he is.
We did it.
99, Ross.
We did it indeed. All right, score dropping in an 89-point run, which from the judges is a huge statement this early on. So they've left themselves a little bit of room, an 11-point buffer to maxing out the scale, because they know the rest of this field is absolutely perfectly capable of putting down something to equal that, but it is not going to be easy. We saw it in Ski Women. We saw it with Max Hitzig. The conditions are tough to master out here, and the terrain is incredibly daunting. Back up to the top we go. The 2025 Freeride World Tour champion, Marcus Goguen, riding out of Whistler, BC. He was frothing this morning to get going. He's in start one in that gorgeous yellow pyramid. The YETI Haines Alaska Pro providing fireworks for us here as we've got a quick look into Marcus Goggen's mindset.
Yeah, I mean, I think we all grow up watching ski movies, watching these crazy segments in AK, so to be in like what I would consider now the big leagues, it's yeah, incredible to be a part of that crew of people who shred those big faces, those gnarly lines, those steep faces. So it's going to be pretty interesting and cool to experience that.
Well, it's just really become a theme. Every interview that we've had with the athletes, they're saying kind of the same thing. They're so grateful, so excited to be here, standing on the shoulders of giants, following in the footsteps of those that came before, both in the film world and in the previous iterations of the Haines YETI Haines Alaska Pro. Marcus Goguen, 21 years old. He's already got a world title under his belt, and he is underway now for his first run in Alaska. For so many of these young athletes, this is truly a dream come true. Getting to ski the face, a face of this caliber at all is dreamy. Getting to do it in a competition is just next level. So Marcus Goguen now, he's got 2 bits of data from the ski men. One really good one and one a little rougher as he makes his way down the ridge, and he is going to enter at the same point we saw Max Hitzig go into this double. Marcus taking a different angle on it, taking it as a single and reconnecting perfectly, and then launching over one of those spine walls, using those quick feet to navigate, keep himself in control, popping, going, cork 7, coming around, and no, a little bit of over rotation, but he skis out of it. So Marcus really bringing the freestyle, huge backflip there. Immediately back-to-back tricks, a little bit messy, but Marcus Goguen showing that he is not messing around. And a ton of speed with an enormous backflip, a little over rotation on that one. Whoa. I mean, what is even happening out here? Marcus Goguen going about a mile in the air. Looks like his ski came right next to him. He was shooting for the moon with that run. The top section so perfect, taking that double that gobbled up Max Hitzig as a single, but on a different trajectory, and then just absolutely grabbing the reins. This was really smart scoping here as Marcus taking that at a different angle to give himself this angle, and then setting the down the pipe cork 720, just a tiny bit over rotated, and then the hate hucking started. An anger backflip, bouncing out of that, and then no speed check into this. He was over the horizon. Marcus Goguen proving there is no such thing as too big. I mean, maybe too big to land, but not too big to go, as he, I cannot wait to see the photos and images that come out of that, because he was above the peaks in that backflip. So a huge, huge send for Marcus Goguen. Thought he might be able to recover a bit of a score after some of those bouncy bobbles, but unfortunately deciding to do one of the biggest backflips ever in the world and losing both his skis. So Marcus Goguen going down, Max Hitzig going down, Ross Tester going perfection. And I am joined in the booth by two-time Freeride World Tour champion Justine Dupont after your wild ride on the face. Justine, how are you feeling?
Thank you so much, Derek. So nice to be here with you right now. It's my first time joining you on this position. It's quite cool to just have the opportunity to go ride and then comment with you. It's dope.
All right. Well, you had a bit of a wild ride up there. You feeling okay? You fell down a cliff.
Yes, I think everyone got really scared. I hit few rocks, but I saw them and I tried to roll over and slow it down, so I managed. So everything is fine. Everyone at home, I'm good. I'm okay. You can now all breathe.
Yeah, it was a rough ride for ski women. Only Sabil managing to put down a clean run from top to bottom. And so far, we're 3 riders into ski men, and only Ross has put down a clean run.
It's a tough one.
It's tricky out there. What was the... Oh, we're going to stay focused on the competition here. We have our next rider in the gate, Wei Tanhov, another rider out of Whistler, the Whistler Freeride Club, just pumping out these incredible world-class athletes, also only 21 years old. The youth rising here. So the pressure is off these riders. They've all made the cut, but the pressure of performing in Alaska is another thing altogether.
The good news is they have Wi-Fi up top, so they are right now watching the live, and he probably know that all the riders have crashed already. So I think Wei Tan, I don't know if he's going to keeping the same strategy or going for it, even though the snow is quite catchy today.
Well, we are about to find out as Wei Tanhov drops into this little channel that leads down to this classic double that we've seen various results on. Wei Tan popping off the first one. Oh, and immediately going down. From the drone angle there, I have no idea what happened. But Wei Tan going down instantly on touchdown on the pad on that double.
I don't know if he lost the ski there. He might.
I think so.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's really tough today. I feel like every time you're slowing down, like right in front of a feature, it's really there that it's catching up, like the skis, right when you turn a little bit too much on the edge, and those edges are really, really sticky today.
Well, we'll see if we can get another angle on it. He went off the first step of the double. Oh, he went too far. He went too far. He overshot that landing pad in that double stager. Here we're going to get a better view of it, and landed in the rocks. So that's a really short pad there. You need to just barely creep off it, and Wei Tan just going a little bit too far. This is tough. You guys only had this morning to scope. It was really rushed.
Freeride is really roller coaster for us. We only had this morning to really see the face, and that's really a big challenge for all rookie. But even like skier that have a ton of experience. Riding a phase for the first time and only having few hours to get prepared and to really consolidate and like confirm all your feature. It's not so much. And when you're arriving on the phase and you're skiing for the first time, it feels kind of like everything is real and it's going so fast.
It's so real. So there, speaking of real, the position of Wei Tian ski, that's going to be a tough one to get. We have a interview coming up here with the winner of the ski women's category. Sabil Blanjeon taking the win for ski women here in Haines. If we can find Sabil while we're focused. There she is. All right, Sabil Blanjeon, huge congratulations for taking the win. I think we have to say it. You were the only one in ski women to put down a clean run. What was the difference maker for you and allowed you to be able to do that?
Yeah, first of all, thank you so much. I'm really stoked. I don't know, to be honest. I feel a bit sad for all the girls. It's always nicer when we can really fight for the win. But I'm really proud of myself. The run was really long, so it was tough physically. So I guess my physical preparation paid off. So thank you to my coach.
Yeah, big time. So we were discussing while you were in your run that your home resort of Verbier also has a lot of huge terrain. So you're not a stranger to being on big exposed terrain. Do you feel that played a part in your ability to execute today?
Yeah, probably a bit, but to be honest, Alaska is a whole other level. I was so scared and it's so intimidating. The mountains are so big, but it's just such an honor to be here, and I just tried to remember myself that at the top, like, come on, Sabil, you're in Alaska, just enjoy, and it worked out.
Are you planning to celebrate tonight for this amazing win?
Probably a bit, but not too much, because I want to go back skiing tomorrow if the weather is good.
Oh, yeah.
All right, Ro, the Freeride party takes a back seat to skiing spines in Haines, Alaska, and that is a true freerider right there. Well, once again, a huge congratulations for Sabil putting her name on that trophy. You know, this event has only happened 3 times, so joining an exclusive crew of winners in Alaska, as this event has proven to be a roller coaster. You know, we've seen some incredible runs put down. We saw what's possible with Ross Tester, but Max Hitzig, Marcus Goguen, Wei Tanhov, all going down. Tricky.
It's a tricky one. It's the big deal. We're in Alaska, and the guys wants to give their best, you know, and it's such an amazing, playful playground that it also allowed them to just like go big or go home.
Well, hopefully everybody gets to do both as we see Edwards, Colorado's Joey Leonardo pushing out. This man has had an electric start to his Freeride World Tour career, coming on as a rookie, skiing well in Spain, and then putting himself on the podium and sitting in the hot seat for a long time in Val Thorens. Only Ben Richards able to dislodge him. So Joey Leonardo looking to keep things rolling as he is making his way down the ridge. We'll see. You said the riders were able to see the others, so looking like maybe he's going to go to the same section that's gobbled up already a few of our pros. Maybe he'll take a slightly slower approach, landing on that pad, and finally someone able to get it going. Joey launching off that, staying in the fall line. Now he is absolutely flying down this.
Oh, no! Oh, damn it.
Oh,
wow.
Joey Leonardo getting violently tomahawked down the face. Hands are up, though.
There you go. Oh, this is Freeride.
That's a rite of passage for just about anybody who comes to Alaska and wants to have their say in these mountains. Tomahawking down.
Oh, there you go. He looks fine. For everyone at home watching, he's having this smile. Oh, this is a tough one. This tomahawk was ginormous. Like the speedy gain up top. Wow.
So he takes a slightly more cross-fall line approach on that double, and you can see the speed was already getting away from him. He holds on by staying in the fall line, and here we see him cross that little slough cone, and boom! His head goes down, and then he is sent to tomahawk downtown, a one-way ticket for Joey, all the way down, and then comes running out of it. If you've never tomahawked like that, when you come out of it, you're dizzy. dizzy. Your brain is absolutely rattled.
I mean, you have to just like let it go. You ride the tomahawk and you wait until the speed goes down. That's the only key to survive a tomahawk. Don't move. Don't do anything. But yeah, it's a tough one. You can see that. I don't think he was supposed to go that fast.
Oh, no, it got away from him after the first air.
For sure. But also, the thing is, again, the snow is catchy because he was just straight lining, everything seemed good, and then bam, like something got stuck or something, and then he crashed. So yeah, it's a tough one. Today, you have to be very much on your toes. That's the key.
All right, well, lined up, we have Freeride World Tour head judge and commissioner Laurent Lolo Best sitting in the judges' tent. Lolo, this is a wild ride here we're seeing in the ski categories after we saw some really, really solid rides from the snowboarding. How are you feeling about what we've seen so far, and what do you think is causing it?
Well, yeah, you're right. I think, first of all, we've seen some brilliant riding, as you mentioned today, snowboarding-wise. The girls have just killing it, and really good runs as well in terms of snowmen. The skiers, do you know, I think it's maybe to the fact that this is the first final of the World Tour. Those guys are qualified for the finals and for the Freeride World Tour 2027. They have nothing to lose, and they might be a little bit having some Alaska powder rush, maybe. I don't know.
A little Alaskan fever kicking in the ski categories. We saw one clean run from ski women. We've seen one clean run so far for the first 5 from ski men. Let's talk a little bit about the run of Ross Tester, though, because he was the one to put it down, and he really, really hit all the ticks. That run was incredible.
Incredible, as you say. I think the only, if I have to look at like really as a judge, the downside of it was the little tiny fluidity issue maybe towards the bottom, but everything else was spot on. You had a very big mountain riding at the top, big cliffs. He sent like 2 big 3, so altogether that was the perfect line. And I think, looking at the other riders, maybe they're trying to send it a bit too much, and yeah, it's the balance. Where do you put the cursor? How far you want to go, and how fast you want to go? But yeah.
Yeah, let's talk about that fluidity conversation, because as you know better than anybody, fluidity is speed, but speed relative to the terrain you're in. Do you think if he hadn't slowed down there, that he might have seen a similar result to what we've seen from all the other 4 riders that have dropped so far?
It's possible, likely. I think he also entered a zone where he probably couldn't really see where was the landing, and I think he'd just been cautious and probably clever. That was the right move to do.
All right, right move indeed. This is the only man at the bottom on his feet so far in ski men. Thank you so much, Lolo, for the insight from the judges' tent. We see, looks like Joey's reunited with his skis. If you're just joining us, I'm Derek Foos. I'm joined by Justine Dupont. It is ski men, the final category of the day here in Haines. And yeah, providing a challenging backdrop here on this big mountain. Justine?
Yes, Alaska is serving us a great show. Honestly, it's so impressive for us riders to be here. For most of us, it's the first time in Alaska, period. And it's a different terrain. It's a different mountain. It's a different type of snow. And it's a lot of things that we need to adapt today.
All right, well, in the start gate is the man in the driver's seat on the Freeride World Tour in ski men right now, Ben Richards. 2 wins on the Freeride World Tour, a win at the FIS Freeride World Championships. He has 3 in a row. If Ben wins today, he is Freeride World Tour champion. Nobody can take him over. There is still a chance if someone else wins because of the extra points available in these finals events. But if Ben takes the win today, but he's got a tall order with A, the run that Ross has put down, and B, what we're seeing from the other riders in the field.
Ben is on the clock. It's his season. He's unstoppable. Let's see what he have to do. Wow. Oh, no.
Oh, what a recovery there from Ben Richards, taking a similar angle as Marcus Goguen and taking it as a single, lofting a big 360 perfect connection. So we are seeing the GOAT just out to play right now. Ben Richards putting it down so far on top. But of course, Justine, as we've seen, the bottom part of this venue is just as challenging.
Oh yeah, it's not over until it's over. He's serving us. Wow, so big. It was so large. Look at this skiing. He looks like nothing bothered him. This guy is incredible, honestly.
His technique is so solid, and Ben Richards makes it look stylish every time he gets on any free ride face. So coming down into this broken up lower section that we see gobble up a bunch of the ski women, he's got to control that speed as he crosses the slough cone, taking a ton of speed. The hand drag 360, perfect again. So Ben Richards is clean top to bottom. He's going to make his way down onto the glacier, and incredible run there from Ben Richards, and showing us that it can be done.
Yes, Ben can do it all. He's serving us the best of free ride we can see. The way he's just aligning those strict back to back like nothing. Always the feet so squeezed together. That's something that, well, clearly not here, but he survived.
Yeah, he landed,
kept going.
Landed right in Marcus Goggen's bomb hole. Coming in here, he's got that no pop 360 that he has just made his own, where he pulls his feet up and then lobbing a huge stylish shifty off that one, and then Ben bringing so much speed to this, carving into that hand drag 3. He was almost halfway around before he even got to the lip, and it allows him to land not so far down the transition where it's still steep. So Ben Richards just proving to us once again, like we needed to know, that he is so good at this.
It's beautiful to watch, honestly. And he's riding, like, honestly, the history of freeride. This name will be a forever name. Ben Richard is the guy. He's the GOAT, honestly. The way he's performing is always there.
So the 89 of Ross Tester, Ben Richards 82.67.
Nice.
So my instinct there is the line that Ross took off the top. He went from start one high through some of the most difficult terrain available on this face, and certainly the steepest, and did a 3 up there.
Yep.
So that line score stands strong for Ross Tester. Ben Richards moving into second, and then 4 no scores. Marcus Goguen leading the no score gang down there. They are scored up until the point that they crash, and then they give them decimals. So Marcus is currently leading the no score gang, but we still have so many talented riders yet to go. Ben Richards putting on a clinic, but Ross Tester holding off one of the biggest challenges of the day. And I'm not sure if I've done the math correctly, but I think that means that the title goes to Verbier, because with Ross ahead of Ben, Ben's not going to win today. He could still be on the podium.
Exactly.
Somebody behind the scenes will double check my math, because I don't have. We're getting word. We think that's correct, that Ben Richards will not be winning the overall title today. But we roll on, and the next man in the gate is an exciting one to watch. Spanish freeride sensation Abel Moga. I feel like Abel was born for this terrain. The bigger, the better. 25 years old, representing Spanish freeride proudly on the Freeride World Tour.
He loves the gnarly. He loves deep, like as deep it is, the better he ski. Like this guy just love it. When it's complicated, super steep, he's there to win.
So a huge air right off the top for Abel. We got a little view of the start gate there. Back to Abel's run. And it is so steep over here on the rider's left side. Abel with a huge 360, but just tipping forwards in the air and unable to hold on. Looks like a ski come off, so he's joining the no-score gang.
Oh, gosh, that's a tough one. But you could see it right at the takeoff. He lost balance right away, so that was a sign that it's going to be a tough one to land as well. I feel like sometimes, if you're maybe a little early, a little bit too much quick on the takeoff, that can play a huge role on the way you land, and that's what happened there.
Justine, tell us about the takeoffs up there, because we've seen a few riders struggling with balance on the takeoffs. What's the factor here? Because that takeoff looked all right, but he wasn't trying to spin.
Yeah, no. I mean, I think whenever you're trying to spin or to kind of like slow down, it's where the ski can catch easily with that snow. It's a really catchy snow. It's 5 5 days old snow. So it's getting a little bit tracky through the days, the more the snow gets old. So it's a fact that you just have to be sure when you're tricking to really be patient and to wait the last second to move your skis.
Well, and I think we have to really go back to what we heard from Lolo in our judges interview there. A bit of Alaskan fever may be kicking in too for these riders. I mean, Abel had 0 speed checks on his way into that 360, tossing a cork 3 on a feature of that size at that speed on a big Alaskan face. It's a big ask at the best of times, and we are seeing some of the best skiers in the world just maybe pushing a little bit past the edge of the envelope here.
Well, you know, those boys have been through a big cut for final at first, so it's already been a few months that they're really under stress and under a lot of pressure to get through the cut. And now that the cut is over and you're in final, there's also this effect of you want to just like have fun and do the run of your life. And, you know, like you're already on the cut. So why not having fun and do the line that you've always been dreaming of? So in a way, I think there's both sides. There is this way of like, you don't have nothing else to lose right now and let's just go for it. And also maybe also the snow factor.
Yeah, riders completely free off the leash, and everybody wants that highlight reel run. Everybody wants the one that is going to be replayed all over Instagram, all over YouTube, all over every TV news outlet when you've just done the most sensational run
of a
lifetime here in Haines, Alaska. Everybody wants that. And the field is so stacked in all 4 categories that in order to do that, you have to push.
Yeah.
You have to. There's nobody's getting away with a safety run
I
today.
mean, look at those 2 runs that those boys did. It was amazing. It was incredible. And the level is outrageous. And honestly, those boys have to give their best if they want a chance to jump on that podium. So in a way, I don't blame them.
Oh, no, they have to do it, and they are excited to do it. And speaking of excited,
Yay.
Canadian rookie Jack Koles coming out of Invermere, riding out of Lake Louise, part of that Ular Big Mountain team. He has been a sensation as a rookie on the Freeride World Tour and pushing hard. Another one who hopefully has been watching what's been going on and is modifying the plan to suit the conditions and suit what's been happening. I really don't think we're going to see any of these guys hold back. 21 years old. All the Canadian ski men right now, 21 years old. The youth rising as Jack Koles gets set to push off down his first trip from the top of the start gate in Haines, Alaska. The YETI Haines Alaska Pro delivering us fireworks as Jack Koles out of the gate from start 2.
Jake is on course, figuring out his first feature.
Oh, taking that beautifully. And Jack, such a technically proficient skier. He always looks so solid. Turning this feature into a double with a 360 off the second stage, holding on.
Wow.
Absolutely perfect. And then another one out the bottom. So Jack Koles, blink and you miss it as he made such short work at the top of this face.
That was flawless. Honestly, it was just so cool to see back-to-back feature like nothing. It was really cool.
All right, well, Jack Koles now gets a moment to regroup before the terrain just drops off again. Just enjoying the Alaskan powder. The snow conditions just look
insane. The view
insane.
is honestly so beautiful. You have to just like get back into your ski. Okay, focus. It's not over because it's so beautiful. But honestly, those legs are burning for sure.
750 vertical meters of steep skiing. Jack adding a little bit of flair there, a little bit of style as we see now what's looming below him. The features continue to come as he's going to go cross hill, get up onto this spine. Every skier's dream to be moving down Alaskan spines, lobbing, getting the tail grab there, and Jack Koles now continuing down this face. He has passed all the features. Now it's just fun for him as the Canadian. Another rider now in this ski men's field showing that it is possible to get down here without losing all your equipment.
What a great one for Jack. I'm so, so happy for him. It's so great to do a full run, top to bottom, no mistakes.
Well, double with a 360, huge 360 in the middle, and then holding the fall line to launch off that wind rib. Jack Koles just looking like a veteran out here, showing some style. So he's got the tricks, he's got the style, a fall line approach down this enormous Alaskan face. That is a run to be proud of for the Invermere native.
Derek, about the middle section? You know, it's a big, long section where nothing happened, and it's kind of part of the decision when you're going start 2.
Yeah, and when you look here at the Hover Air line tracker, you can see that big gap in the middle where over on the rider's right, guys like Ben Richards and Ross Tester were able to add features into the line. So the line score could be a little bit limited relative to what the other guys did. That is, of course, for the judges to decide. But what he did with that line was absolute perfection. So we see 72.67, and I think you're exactly right, Justine. Executed flawlessly, but the line on that side just not, it's not as full.
Yeah, the flawless, and you really need that dynamic back-to-back feature, something that have a lot of fluidity, and that's for sure paying a lot today.
Yeah, so line score is king in Freeride. Ross Tester, Ben Richards, Jack Koles. That is your 1, 2, 3. As we are over halfway through, we only have 5 men left in the category, but every single one of them capable of throwing hammers. The next man here, Finn Powell, riding out of New Zealand. Incredible. The style that Finn has on his skis. He's, you know, he grew up in the Whistler Freeride Club in his summers and then spending his winters skiing in New Zealand on the New Zealand Junior Freeride Tour. Dion Newport, a huge mentor of Finn, 23 years old. He's got his twin brother, Locke, who is also a huge force in the freeride world. And these guys have just pushed each other, you know, time and again. I think for me, one of the real standouts of Finn Powell's riding is style.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think that's also something that the Kiwi have so much in common. They have, like, a way of skiing that it's always flawless. Like, they don't bother. They just land those feet always squeezed together. It's really, really impressive to ski. Like, to see them, it's for sure textbook for me.
All right, well, here we go. Finn Powell going into this feature that has given some other riders trouble. And...
oh, no.
Oh, no. Finn getting absolutely tossed. The second step of that double is so short. I think it's way shorter than the riders think it is.
I think it's the deadly double up there. It's clearly different than what we seen in 2016, in 2017. It's because we watched all those comp, and it was a different amount of snow, and this year it looks like it was a little bit less, and they're approaching those double with a little bit too much speed, and then they're kind of like completely out of timing in the air, and then here we go. We're gonna see on replay.
So we see he didn't take much speed, but it was too much, and then Finn just going for a ride, luckily going over all of those rocks, so it was a clean snowfall, and we saw him wave right away when he got up, so he is okay. But you almost have to come to a complete stop for that to work. And Finn immediately in the air, you could tell he knew he was in trouble. And I mean, he flew on that tomahawk, absolutely tumbling down this face.
Nothing is, it's all good. Just the heart is broken, but nothing else. I mean, it's always so frustrating for us athletes, but in a way, it's part of the sport. It's oftenly happening, and when you're taking risk, you also sign for those risks that you might lose a ski and you might crash. And yeah, it's really tough, and we kind of have to live with that.
Yeah, the glory and the heartbreak of freeride right there, and the consequences up here on these Alaskan faces are as real as it gets. So we've teed up while we wait for Finn to get reunited with his gear, we've teed up a replay of Ross Tester's run, the man who's sitting in the hot seat. Justine, he skied before you got here, so this will be the first time you get to see it.
Awesome.
As we take a look, Ross Tester started from start 1 high, the only one to go from there, and you can see just how steep it is.
Wow.
As that looming beneath him, the slough absolutely ripping, and he went in with such an aggressive attacking approach.
This is really impressive. It's so steep up top. To do a 360 on this ginormous cliff, wow. He was here to win.
Yeah, back in control right away, just through this labyrinth of rocks. Keep in mind, it's completely convex. That means the ground rolls away from you. So he can barely see where he's going. He's trusting his scoping. And Ross Tester with that committing 360 up top, coming down here, launching another 360. I mean, it had all the elements, and he's still, and this is where we see, I think, the real contrast with the run of Jack Koles. There's no empty parts of Ross's run. Every single section is just packed with features.
That's for sure play a huge role into the score, and we can see him approaching the last one. It was a tricky one. I actually wanted to do that one, but now I see it's a rough one. Wow.
Yeah,
really scary.
We heard Lolo mention the only thing that he had maybe was the fluidity of him slowing down there, but in rewatching, he had to do that.
Yeah.
Similar to the riders like Finn, who's collecting his skis up top on that double, where you absolutely, you have to go off at a crawl.
I mean,
or
it's
it
so
doesn't
exposed.
work.
It's so exposed, and the judge know that you can actually take a second to think before throwing yourself off cliff full of rock at the landing. And when you are in an exposed cliff like this, you really have to be precise on your landing, and that makes sense, and the judge understand the reason why. So, let's see Finn. He looks fine.
And how about a shout out to the snowboard men who went back up after their runs to act as ski runners for all the other categories. Now there is a benefit; they get to ride the face again in this glorious Alaskan powder. So
That's for sure.
there's a payoff
the good part
for them.
about it.
Now I think it looks like Cesar Bouvier. Maybe he's looking for Finn's poles.
Yeah, it's really not easy. Honestly, you can lose your gear so easily in that type of snow. It's powder and it's steep, so the equipment can go super deep in the snow and then you lose it forever.
Yeah, you donate it to the natural resources here out in Alaska. Eventually it'll make its way all the way down to the bottom and maybe find its way in the little Jarvis Glacier there. So Finn Powell making his way off the face. He is physically okay, but as we said, glory and heartbreak in freeride. And, you know, the nerves, the fear, the consequences, all of that is so real when you stand on top of one of these huge freeride faces.
Oh, yeah. No, it's honestly a dream for all of us riders to be skiing today in Alaska. For most of us, it's the first time, I think. So it's kind of a dream. And when it's that feeling of like you want to push and you want to do your best that you can in Alaska powder. And there's also this Alaska powder fever that can be tricky.
Yeah. Well, speaking of push, the next man in the start gate is one of the heaviest hitters in the field and is always pushing so hard. Toby Rafford from Sun Valley, Idaho, and he is up there at start one high. We haven't seen anyone drop from there since Ross Tester, and he is currently sitting in the hot seat on top. So we know this zone can pay off. What has to happen is execution. So Toby Rafford now kicking out of the start gate, getting ready for an Alaskan sensation.
Swinging the arms, saying he's ready, and he's dropping in.
So steep up there, and Toby not holding back at all, going full speed as he has become known for, popping into this air, 360, clearing the rocks, landing clean. He's got to get control now. Look at the speed of his feet. He went through there like a World Cup slalom skier and just navigated. He's got control again, Justine. That was incredible.
Oh my God, he's just not stopping at all. It's flawless. The way he skis so much in control, like nothing bothered him. It's really impressive.
Perfect control, but at maximum speed as Toby making his way through this labyrinth. We saw Ross pick off a few features in that section, but lobbing off the spine wall with a 360. An incredible run there from Toby Rafford, top to bottom. For sure, the fastest run we've seen so far of the day.
Toby is known for his signature line choice. Honestly, it's always so exciting to see him drop because you know that he'll do something that nobody have done before. And I think that's something that I respect so much of Toby is his line choice.
Well, we see here right off the apex of that spine landing, and here's where his skill comes into play. The quick feet, he had to go through those towers and then down here on this blade launching, getting the style. He never leaves the ground without a ton of style. And down here, I mean, every single piece of this was so calculated, so perfect. And this, nobody else saw this. The spine wall just lurking there. Toby lifts his feet up, launches an enormous 360. Didn't even look like he left the ground when he landed. It was so clean.
It's so impressive. The way he makes it look so easy. It's unbelievable. Honestly, it's a joy to watch him ski. It just, honestly, like, showed to all of us that you can look like it's easy, and it's not. And it's really not easy to ski that steep. I don't know how steep it is, but the top section to launch a 360 in the middle of that, like, I think 50 degree it is. So it's really impressive. What a show that he gave us. This Toby.
So the judges have to get to work now because Toby had a few less features than Ross, but the intensity and the speed of his run were maxed out completely. He couldn't have done more features going that speed. So Toby Rafford maxing out this face. This is what we came to see, the Haines, the YETI Haines Alaska Pro giving us fireworks. Well, the judges have spoken. It's going up, 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 way up. 90.67 nubs on top. Amazing. As Toby Rafford takes over the top spot. He gets hugs from the rest of the crew there. He and Ross and Ben have all been traveling together. Their screw around vibe is just legendary as they're always just into mischief. But I mean, he just laid down the run of the day so far, and the judges rewarding him for it. As Toby Rafford on top with 3 men to go. Ross Tester, Ben Richards, that is the crew. Jack Koles moves down to 4th, and then the enormous squad of no scores there from Marcus Goguen all the way down. All of those guys losing equipment. Back up to the top we go, Justine. We are not done here. Ski man.
Oh, no.
Ugo Troubat riding out of France. He made a huge splash at the FIS Freeride World Championships, finishing on the podium. He's a rookie, a little bit older than some of the, like, kind of barely out of their teens rookies in the rest of the field. But Ugo Troubat now on course and looking to put himself into this podium conversation.
Ugo, I'm really excited to see him ski. He's been super good this year, honestly. Very strong skiing.
Taking a full speed approach, lobbing a 360 way down the face and coming out of it clean, getting high up onto the spine wall, immediately into another 360. So Ugo Troubat going on the other side of the face. We saw Jack Koles skiing over there, and now absolutely cooking.
He's going straight line to the bottom section, like he's having fun. We see him saying a good hello to the drone. That's really lovely of him. He's having fun. He's enjoying his ride in Alaska. That's really cool to see.
Well, Ugo's got such a great spirit. He really embodies the freeride spirit. Getting to this wind lip now, launching off it and up onto the spine.
Let's see where we go for the last part. And here we go, a 360, easy breezy.
So kind of taking the similar neighborhood to where we saw Jack Koles go, but adding to it, he's cut a little slab out there. It's going to run down. He's going to need to stay on the skier's right side. A huge air there for Ugo, and managing the bottom part as well as he roasts into the flats here on the Jarvis Glacier.
So much speed. He had to keep his skis straight down if he wanted to not crash. So it was really impressive. Honestly, the last section was really heated up. I think the judge will love that speed.
Yeah, he found a way to add some stuff into that lower section. So Ugo getting things started with a really clean air and then lining up for this high speed. Oh, that's the same one again from the drone angle. Then he lined himself up for this high speed attack approach here. We see his dad there. He is stoked, going flying all the way down on that 360. And then another one right away. So Ugo Troubat really maxing out this side of the venue. Similar line to Jack, but definitely with more features in play for Ugo.
Oh yeah, he played it smart.
So we had a little moment there. This powder grabbed his ski just for a second.
Sometimes the snow is so cold that it's sticky, and it creates that type of feeling of where you're like, oh, holding on one leg, and yeah, he managed so well. I'm really glad for him that he managed to do a good top to bottom run.
Yeah, and making that bottom feature airing into the couloir into a double just with raw speed. So the judges are getting to work now. They have 1.5 kilometers of width on this venue, so there are so many options. Really, the only limitation is your creativity. You can see his dad is absolutely fired up there.
Yes, I think that's kind of the cool part about this venue is today we might not see any run that is similar or the same because we have such a large and big venue. So everyone can really create their own line, and there's no perfect line, and I think that's what I love the most about freeride.
Yeah, it's the beauty of the sport. You're only limited by your own creativity, and even more so on a face that's this big. Sometimes we do see riders funneled into certain features on competition venues because they know that's where they need to go if they want to get a good score. This one, there are good scores available all over the place. So the judges really getting to work now, crunching that run against the categories, 5 categories, of course: line, control, fluidity, technique, and air and style. Ugo managing all of those. I'd say of all of them, fluidity was maxed out there. So here we go.
Let's see.
It's going way up, 89.67. He jumps into second, just a fraction over the score of Ross Tester. So the judge is absolutely loving it. Hugo's father absolutely loving it there.
This is so cool.
And Ugo Troubat proving that skier's left side of the venue can play. So 96.7, 89.6.7's a theme here.
6-7, you know it.
Yeah, the judges, they're suffering from brain rot along with the rest of the world.
Oh, but honestly, it's so cool to see those riders having fun.
All right. Back to the top we go. Teemo Rollin, just got to throw out, he's wearing my coat. He lost all his gear, but luckily Peak Performance coming in clutch as Teemo Rollin flying into the start of this run. He has none of his own gear on his body right now, so really making do. The freeride community proving the giving spirit there as the German rider flying across that cross-section out on the rider's left with a huge 360 there for Teemo and finding incredibly precise transition.
Teemo is honestly one of the chillest rider I know. This guy is right now skiing with a different pair of skis and make it look so easy, flawless. He's having such an amazing attitude, and honestly, like, he's been missing few competition this year because he had exam and school didn't want him to miss those exams, and he still managed to make the cut and be here today and ski in Alaska with a different pair of ski. This guy is amazing.
Yeah, the only thing on him that's his own are his ski boots. Everything else is borrowed from the rest of the freeride community here. Teemo Rollin flying off with another 360, using those spine walls beautifully. And honestly, this just looks like so much fun.
Oh yeah, he's enjoying himself clearly.
Spinning the other way, so showing that versatility. Teemo Rollin has spun both ways. You can see the slab that cut out from a previous rider's track there, and Teemo getting down into this bottom section. There's a stack there below him, popping double off the bottom and landing clean. Teemo Rollin.
So technical. This thing is so tough. You need to be on it. And look at him. He doesn't believe it in himself. This is so cool. And he blew a kiss to the camera. Oh, look at him. He's having fun.
Well, as you said, Justine, he made the cut with one result. We only had 2 comps before the cut, and he had to miss the first one because he's doing an engineering degree, and they don't mess around in engineering. You can't skip your exam.
Oh, no.
So he showed up for Val Thorens not knowing that was going to be his only competition that would count towards the cut, and he made it and then delivered that on all borrowed gear. And you can hear the rest of the ski men's field. They are so hyped for him.
Oh, I'm so glad for him. Teemo managed to do such a great run, really playful, a ton of tricks. That's really his signature. But also, like, this guy just is having fun. Like, you can tell that he's just doing the best, always having a good smile up top.
So there's the right 360 to complement the left side 360 that he did earlier. And this, Justine, so technical, so perfect, flying off that tower, which he had to air onto. Absolutely
the judge
nailed it.
Gonna love it. Honestly, that's what I love about this run. It was a good mix of technical alpine, and the judge loved that, and also a lot of tricks and a lot of feature, and I think that's a good balance. It's always what we're trying to aim for, is that balance of trying to do it all.
Well, there's a happy man right there. Teemo Rollin completing his run here in Haines. A 79-point run, so it's going to move him into 5th, I think just ahead of the run of Jack Koles. So a top 5 finish here in Haines is nothing to sneeze at. Now, it's not done yet. It's not a top 5 yet because we do still have one rider left on top of the mountain here in Haines. As we sit, Toby Rafford, Ugo Troubat, Ross Tester, Ben Richards, and Teemo Rollin. That is your top 5. And then from Jack Koles down, every single other rider has lost their skis. So a tough day, but also a glorious day here in Alaska, as we're seeing a real contrast in what people are able to do. So the last man standing, Victor Hailwoods, coming out of Verbier. He was a standout on the junior tour, competing at the Freeride Junior World Championships, and then making his way through the qualifiers, through the challengers, and finding himself at 23 years old, a rookie on the tour, and making the cut. Incredible, as he is going from start 1 high, where we've only seen Toby and Ross go.
Super bold choice, going for the top of Alaska. This is so cool, in the gnar, in the steep, but he's from Verbier, he's used to it, so let's see what Victor has in his back pocket.
Yeah, so keeping things nice and controlled here in this incredibly steep terrain. What you don't see below the screen is how much exposure is lurking below the riders, and this labyrinth of towers. As Victor handling the speed, using that spine wall to slow down, you can see his dad, Nicholas Hailwood, watching through the binoculars on the split screen there, as Victor managing that upper section very cleanly, and really just showing skills beyond that rookie status.
Here we go. Big cliff there. He's trying to go up that ridge to go on that end of the spine.
Yeah, and getting into this nice shady section. Look at this. This is what he sees. Finding your way through that maze of rock towers, an absolute mystery. And Victor's got to know that previous to him, most of the riders has crashed. So if he gets down just clean on his feet, he's going to have a keeper result here in his rookie season. And he's going into a section that nobody else has skied, and that's really smart and is going to feel good.
Oh, yeah. Those turns are looking great. That snow is sloughing out like crazy, but he's managing. He knows for sure that where he is. And he keeps adding some stuff.
Yeah, getting really creative with this venue, just adding feature after feature, and a big 360, floating it, landing clean. So Victor Hailwoods, he is out the bottom. The judges said when the riders reconnect with the glacier, they will stop judging. It allows the riders just to get down clean and safe, and also speed things up a little bit with the judging, as it takes a while for them to traverse that entire glacier. So a great performance there from Victor Hailwoods, the last rider onto the Little Jarvis Glacier, and completing the YETI Haines Alaska Pro competition. The last man, we still need to get his score. The judges are going to have some work cut out for them. He had a lot of features in that run. Maybe not quite the same level of like raw intensity that we saw, say, from Toby and Ugo, but clean top to bottom is something in itself today.
Today, that was kind of the key as well, to find a way to just do a clean top to bottom and to manage to not lose those skis, because the snow was sticky and it was not an easy one. So I'm really, really happy for Victor. He did an amazing run. I think he did an approach completely different, really cross-side. So he managed to hit a lot of feature. So I cannot wait to see what the judge thought about his run.
Yeah, let's take a look at the replay. He's up here in the steepest part of the entire venue and navigating. The Verbier riders definitely looking solid here in Alaska, pushing through these steep snow towers, and every one of his features was creative, technical, difficult, and executed really, really well.
Yeah, his approach was really original and he managed to do a few tricks, so I think that's really gonna be great and important for his score.
Yeah, managing to get a 360 in there, so really adding to that air and style. It's really direct line as we see the Hover Air line tracker following the route of Victor Hailwoods all the way top to bottom down this face. And here we see the score of Victor Hailwoods coming up, a 74.33. So he goes into 6th. That is a great result for a young rookie here in Haines. He was so nervous this morning about skiing on this big mountain, as I think all of you guys were. So here we see Toby Rafford taking the win, Ugo Troubat and Ross Tester rounding out the podium. Ben Richards in the leader's jersey coming into the event, and then Teemo Rollin rounding out the top 5 on a full complement of garage sale gear. There we see Victor Hailwoods and Jack Koles, and that's it for completed runs in this entire ski men's field. Marcus Goguen winning the Crashers today, getting the highest score of the no score, so an 8th place result. And then all the way down, and Wei Tanhov there, the final guy, he lost his ski pretty much immediately at the start of the run. So there's going to be some regrouping for that group of no-score riders before we go to Verbier. Here we go, the overall Toby Rafford taking over the lead in the Freeride World Tour with a tie.
Wow.
No, he's actually 800 points ahead. Toby Rafford, 20,800. Ben Richards on 20,000. So a big shuffle, and Ross Tester sliding into 3rd in the overall. So basically tied from 3rd to 1st going into Verbier. This is setting up for an electric Extreme Verbier.
That's going to bring an amazing show for those boys, because they're going to need to push it and to win Verbier if they want to win the World Tour. So it's going to be a really spicy one to watch.
Oh, big time, as we see the riders that fell below the cut. Unfortunately, a few injuries there with Kelly Hilecki. All right, well, we're back on camera, joined by Justine Dupont. We have had an absolutely electric show here in Haines. I'm just absolutely blown away. We got a competition in the bag. We had to run it 2 days early. You guys went up there and threw down. What are your feelings right now?
I mean, it was a tough one, but in a way, it was the dream for all the riders today to ski in Alaska. It's such a privilege. We were all, I think, so full of gratitude to be able to have a Bluebird today and be able to compete. Of course, it's the Freeride. Freeride is always juggling us into this amazing roller coaster of emotion, and we kind of have to deal with it. So a lot of athletes arrived last night, yesterday, and had to manage to do the face check this morning. So yeah, it's not an easy task. And when we look at Teemo, who had none of his equipment and managed to ski that way, everything's possible.
All right, well, we have the winning run from ski men from Toby Rafford teed up. We're going to look back on this incredible performance. You know, Toby starting up there where we saw Ross and Victor Hailwoods at start one high. He gets his bearings, gives a wave to the judges, and then right away, he just went into full throttle.
It's incredible. He's so talented and so strong on his ski. It's always so amazing to see him the line that he picks, it's honestly, I don't know how he does it. The way he managed that speed, it was so gnarly. Right in front, so much exposure, and it's really brilliant to watch. This guy is one to remember.
The only rider of the day to pick off that feature, and you had to be out of start one high to even get there. And then the hits just kept coming as Toby Rafford airs into the maze, lines up this spine wall that, again, nobody else looked at, and takes it at full speed with an enormous 360 all the way down. Perfect transition. That run was over in a blink of an eye. It was so fast. It was so perfect. Everything about it.
Yeah.
Toby Rafford just putting on a masterclass. And can you imagine that this isn't a 10-year Alaskan film skiing veteran. This is a man who has never skied here before, who has never skied on a face this big before, and he just did that.
I mean, Toby is really impressive. The way he always pick a new line that nobody have thought of, and he's so creative and so strong on his ski, and I think that's really what makes him so special and makes his line always so special. And that's also a big part of the judgment, is the wow factor. And I think he's always playing that wow factor, doing his own thing, his own game, and I really respect that. And I think that's also part of the creativity that we all need as rider to ski your own line and have your own idea and your own tricks. And I think it was so different than everybody else, and that creates the winner line.
The wow factor, indeed. Toby Rafford brought all of it. Now it's your chance to have your say. We want you to log on to freerideworldtour.com and vote for the rider of the day. Every category is in play. Who impressed you? Was it the winning run of Toby Rafford? Was it Michaela Davis throwing a unprecedented 360 high on the face in snowboard women? There are so many great options for the rider of the day. Log on and vote. Well, Justine, I want to thank you so much for joining us. It's been a pleasure having the Athlete's View here. Haines, the YETI Haines Alaska Pro, done and dusted. We are going to say goodbye on behalf of the whole Freeride World Tour family, and we will see you in Verbier.
The best riders on the best mountains.
Yeah, I guess a big difference is the amount of exposure, more risk, especially at the top of this venue. Well, the whole thing on the back is pretty gnarly, so definitely have to be on.
World champions will be crowned on the hallowed grounds of Verbier, the ancestral home of competitive freeride. Welcome to the extreme.
It's hard to prepare for how it feels standing in the start gate because the top part is way steeper and gnarlier than you think. Going into Verbier, it doubles up because it's the most serious face we compete on.
This is the final showdown, and we couldn't ask for a better arena. The YETI Extreme Verbier